3, 2.
You know what my favorite vegetable is? It's cucumbers.
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
Why?
It's like eating your water. It's like I feel like I'm hydrated by eating cucumbers, but I don't have to suffer through the like journey of actually drinking water.
That's fair.
So. But yeah. And then my second favorite vegetable is probably red bell peppers.
So. Oh.
I could find a way to fill a gap in time. My favorite vegetable is.
Hey!
Guys.
You know what's
There
kind
we
of
go.
funny? Your
Okay.
voice and my voice sound the same when I listen
My
to it
mom
over
complains
again.
about
I
that
was like,
Oh, really?
much.
I get mad
I don't hear
confused
that.
when we're talking.
So anyways, hopefully we're back. I don't know for sure, but we'll find out.
My mom's like, oh, like I really would love to like sign in and just like tune in when you're talking. You know, she's my mom. She like doesn't know me.
I
She's
get
like,
it.
you guys sound too similar. It's weird. And I was like,
It's
I
like
don't know what
my
to tell
own
you.
voice, and
Yeah.
I can't discern
My
which
own
one's
mother is
which.
like,
All
fuck,
right,
guys.
so we're gonna jump back into this. I think the sound is working. We believe. Please let us know if it's not. If there are any issues, please just let us know. We ran all of the equipment in a different way over the course of the break that we had off, so all the wires are up there, and we're not really sure if there's interference or what's going on. But we'll keep playing and we'll figure it out. All right, so Bubbs,
Yeah.
you are in the back over here. You can see that Gibbs is kind of washing themselves off in this sink.
Yeah.
What were you doing over there?
Instead of using my red star, I think I'm gonna. Well, if I use the red star, will it light it on fire, or should I take the lighter out?
You gotta
of it?
try it.
You gotta try it.
I
You've
guess.
seen it cauterize wounds as you hit people.
Yeah,
so
it's
you'd
sort of-
imagine it's gonna create
Okay.
some heat.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try with the old knuckle lightsaber.
Punch
and,
it on
I'm sorry,
fire.
remind me again because we just went through that saga.
Oh, I wanted to just see if the flowers would catch on fire or not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you take a little handful of these petals
Yeah.
and you activate this. As you squeeze your hand, it ignites into this plasma spike.
Yeah.
And any of the petals, as you drop them down, just immediately just incinerate.
Probably flammable. Okay.
Absolutely inflammable.
Yeah. Okay. And just one quick question: how is the bathroom located next to the bamboo? Like, is it adjacent to it, or?
Sure. So if you're facing the bamboo thicket, or as you guys walk down the hallway,
Yep.
initially you came to vending machines that are on either side of the hall, kind of bracketing it, and then just 5 feet beyond each vending machine, there's a doorway that leads into a bathroom. So on either side of the hallway.
Okay.
The bamboo thicket is about 30 feet further on, and you can see kind of growing up and sprouting. There's a few corpses littering in front, and you actually see an android, or actually you didn't see it, but Shade would have said there's an android wedged all the way in the back.
I'm thinking, just hypothetically, could I just punch my way through one of the bathroom walls and just bypass the thicket?
You could certainly try.
That's something I've already discussed with the team.
Meanwhile, we'll cut back to our read-in over here. Shade, as you open this stall door, you can see trembling in front of you, yellow-hued, this Shiren wearing a bright red and white striped uniform. Immediately, it's a vibrant set of hues, but you can see there's like a little badge on there, and you see Shishawak Genetic Solutions. You would imagine maybe a security guard. He holds his arms up in front of him. You can see he like winces away, expecting some kind of blow, and he just says, "I give up. I surrender." What are you doing?
We're here to help.
You see slowly one of the hands goes up. One of these big Shiren eyes peers through you. You are?
Yes, we are Mosaic Team 5. We are here to apprehend Jade Brunaei.
The hands kind of uncurl, and you can see he straightens up a little bit. He looks at you and kind of looks beyond you. Spice, were you in there as well?
I think I was kind of like outside the
Okay.
bathroom,
in the
but I'm
hallway.
not quite in the bathroom. Yeah.
Sure. Did you bring anybody else with you? You're gonna need more help.
We're in the bathroom
We're
together.
together. Yeah,
You're
right.
by yourself.
The rest of my team is here.
Good. We can get out. kind of hops off the toilet, and you see the leg wobbles a little bit. Definitely some damage to it, and it looks like almost like maybe some kind of corrosion. But he straightens up a little bit. All right, lead the way.
Before we go, I must ask some questions. What happened to your leg?
Do we need to ask him right here?
This area is currently safe.
Did you see outside?
Yes, we have 2 hours to get to Jade Brunaei, or else bad things will happen.
Okay, what are your questions?
How did you sustain that injury to your leg?
He looks down and kind of flexes the leg. You can see almost underneath the exoskeleton, like the exoskeleton has worn away. It's like glass thin. You can actually see the muscle fibers tense underneath. But he says, when she slashes you with her claws, it leaves these wounds.
You're speaking about Jade herself?
Yeah, Jade.
And she has claws.
Only sometimes she can change. She's like an elf. You know her, right?
Yes.
But she can take on different forms.
And how many of these forms have you seen?
Only 2. It's a big tree kind of thing, but all jagged looking. And then another sort of... you can see he shudders a little bit. It's like she falls into pieces and crawls.
Ew.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can tell us about what you saw here?
He sort of looks a little anxious to get it going, first of all. But he says, I don't really know what to tell you. She got by all of us, and she was able to take out most of security. I think there's still 2 people left up on floor 24.
Okay, we will escort you back to the elevator, and can you make it down by yourself?
Yeah, if you can get me to the elevator, I can get out. Here. And you can see he bends his hand down, pulls off his little lanyard, and gives you, it's like a little security badge. You see his picture on there.
What's his name?
His name, it says, is
Not
it says
Mitchie Gladewell,
Shishawik
right?
Genetic Solution Security Guard Hershishwik, which is yeah, exactly how it sounds.
Thank you, Hershishwik.
Say that 5 times fast.
Do you need any weapons? We don't have much, but I have a club. And he reaches down and he pulls out, it's just like a little security baton, like a heavy plastic.
You should hold on to that because the elevator buttons are trapped, rigged to electrocute you if you make contact with them.
Oh, well, that seems like something you should tell me before we go, but okay.
I was telling you just now.
Spice, at this point, the 2 of them kind of exit through the doorway and into the main hall. You can see he pulls back a little bit as these little petals fall around. He seems almost anxious and pulls up a leg before stepping gingerly into this almost floral snowfall. But he does step out. You can see he looks over at some of those.
You don't want to
bodies.
fight with us?
He turns and looks at you. He looks you up and down and just kind of says, "Who are you? You already said Mosaic, but you're not Team 1.
I said we are Mosaic Team 5.
Who?
Mosaic Team 5.
You haven't heard of us. We were on TJ's show. And she like flips her hair.
Well, that's really good, but I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks anyways." And he just kind of limps his way over. He turns for just a second, and he does say, I'm not allowed past the 24th floor, so I don't know how to get past that big door to the botanical labs, but some kind of password, and I'm sure there's a clue around there. Good luck, guys. Kind of limps
Thank
away.
you, Hershishwik.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, who's that? Oh, hi, bye.
That was Hershishwik.
The buttons are booby trapped.
I told him.
Oh, good.
Yes.
In plain English? Because sometimes it can be confusing.
Yes.
Okay.
You
Am I
remember.
not clean? and I stick out my leg, and it's grossest.
Yeah, there's like a little drip, and the drip like moves a little on the ground.
As they're talking, I'm probably gonna. She says clean. I'm gonna be coming in, walking up.
Sure.
We're down the hallway. Hi, guys.
Hershishwick gave me his security badge. It should get us at least up to the 24th floor.
Cool, and that's another 50,000 because he's a hostage. That's dope.
He was a security guard.
Who was
There are
technically a
two more,
hostage.
he believes, that are also on the 24th floor.
Dope.
Guys, I tried these petals, and they're very flammable. I don't know if we can get past these thickets with anything flammable, but, you know, I was just in the bathroom. The bathroom wall is adjacent where we could go. I could maybe punch a hole through the wall.
So, thickets, bathroom. We don't know what's beyond the bathroom wall.
I would say with your previous perception check, you saw the hints of like
Like
maybe
a lobby.
Give me 1 second. Let me make sure
Well, we're
I say
kinda
this
in the
right.
lobby,
I don't want to say the wrong thing here.
We're also looking for a staircase. There's stairs here.
Yeah, there's the staircase that like leads up to the.
There seems to be a continuation of the hallway beyond.
I mean, we've only got 2 hours, and punching through a wall seems like it takes a long time.
But there's all the dead bodies in front of the thicket.
But we don't know if they're caused because of the thicket or not. We can only assume because of their location. We haven't even like looked at the bodies yet.
Based on the pheromones, I would assume that some of these plants are going to attack us.
Yeah. Oh, the slap cactus.
Yeah,
Slappery.
slap tie.
Slap tie.
Slap die.
And you look over, Gibbs, at this thicket of metallic bamboo. You can see there are very pale lilac shade little flowers kind of wrapped around these delicate leaves of green. There's a few different colors, actually. You can see pink, white, yellow, red, violet, different than these little petals that fall around you.
So Spice is gonna go up to one of the flowers
Sure.
and try to pick a lilac one off.
Okay. You walk up a little closer between several of these corpses. You reach over. As your hand closes around this vine, you can feel it is live. This is all real. You pluck it. Nothing bad happens.
Okay. So then she goes in for another white one and sticks the two of them behind her ears.
Okay. As you pick the white one, there is something about it that is a little bit different. They're not. It almost looks like they're different kinds of blooms. Although looking at it, these vines all certainly from the same plant. But it definitely strikes you as being a little bit different. And as you look a little closer at each,
Like a peony and a lily.
make a life sciences check.
Whoa.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I don't have a good one. Oh,
Nice.
natural 18 with life science 19.
Hey, look at that. The white petal in particular, there's something about it. As you touch it and sort of feel it, it has a scent that is unlike another flower that you've smelled. But a long time ago, you were on some kind of, you were in a place of excess, and in enjoying some of the finer foods and cocktails, you were exposed to a fruit that is almost unknown to much of the universe. It's called a pineapple. And there is the scent of that to this. And then, for a moment, that kind of strikes something within your head, and you turn. You see that dead Shiren bounty hunter, heavy armor, that was kind of half into the bamboo thicket. Through their mouth, or sorry, through their chest, actually, almost puncturing through, you could see what looks almost like a pineapple emerging from the chest.
Well, but how does that...
Maybe it's a
So the
breathing in kind of
seeds?
thing.
Well, I'm wondering if, like, the seeds can be weaponized
We
somehow.
also have our, well, everyone who
Gibbs.
breathes.
I assumed everybody but Gibbs
Has
has
that.
other
Yeah,
things down
yeah.
there.
But not that I couldn't. It's been a choice so far.
Of course.
I have a.
Right.
Okay, so Spice is gonna go over to the dead Shiren body and try to pull the pineapple off from inside of it.
Sure. You approach this body, and first of all, you haven't really gotten close to it before. This is heavy armor. You can see, in a lot of ways, this individual looks a little bit like the Mandalorian. This is like silver plate almost.
Not a
That is stretched over some kind of like plastic composite with very flexible joints. You actually can see, as you get a little bit closer to it, at one point there was a jetpack attached to the back of this individual as well. Although the roots from this plant bursting from the chest through the armor actually twist through the jetpack itself, having broken it. You can see and smell a little bit. The fuel is soaked out and probably evaporated for the most part. You try to pull it away, the roots hold tight. This plant seems to have grown from within the chest out and then through the back as well. And as you get really close and you begin to sort of pull, make a perception check.
Also, is he wearing a like mask or anything? Or is he just...
You see like the Sharin face, no mask, no helmet.
25.
25.
Yep.
You pull the roots, kind of pulling elements of the meat and exoskeleton away a little bit, and you can see soaked through with the ichor of this creature, very, very kind of chewed a little bit, a white flower, tiny little petal in his chest cavity. You can
Does
see
it look
probably
like the one in my...
with that check. Oh yeah, with that check, you can see almost certainly swallowed and then ruptured.
Okay. So, not breathing it in sounds like a good thing.
Okay. That's it. That's all. That's all I got.
I'll put my thing on now. I'll put on my spacesuit, so I'm a rat in an astronaut uniform.
Excellent. It has like slight little ear spaces as well. It's like specially tempered glass, but no problem.
I mean, so our options are to walk through this thicket or try to, like, carve our way through. If we carve our way through, Jade's gonna be pissed at us, so maybe we should just give it a shot. Also, that guy's certainly flammable. I can smell the jet fuel on him.
Oh, well, I don't have to use my blade when I punch. I can just use my fist.
Well, why don't we just burn down the thicket?
Well,
We only
why
have
don't
2
we just
hours.
try to get through it normally.
Okay. You want to go first?
Why not?
You have nothing on. No.
No, I'm wearing my thing now. Do you not see my
Oh.
cute little outfit and this little glass in front of my
Of
nose?
course.
It's really annoying because when I breathe, it's like right there. I can see my breath. It's
Your
super
nose
annoying.
also. This is not perfectly designed for Yosoki, just a little bit, and so the nose does like touch the glass. There's this perfect smudge.
When I move, there's definitely like a little stream of boogers on either side, like a little mustache I now have of boogers
Perfect.
on the glass.
Pleasant and perfect.
Yeah.
All right. And she draws her weapon. Someone can go first.
Perhaps
Anyone got better ideas?
I should go first. I do not need to breathe, so
Fair enough. Can you not breathe though? Like, you don't need to, but can you turn off your breathing for a minute?
I don't breathe. There's nothing to turn off.
Okay, cool. I don't know how this works.
Can you smell? Can you taste? Never mind. Conversation for another time.
Is that important in a person?
I'm leaving.
I think so.
You
Oh.
take steps closer to this.
What if you
this
couldn't
thicket.
smell flowers?
And as you do, nothing seems to happen immediately. You see the corpses off to either side. You see these bright colored flowers. What do you want to do?
I want to see, like, try to map out a way to get through without disturbing the flowers, I guess.
Okay.
The plant life around the thicket. I mean, I guess it's
That
more
won't
like
be hard to do. As you
trunky
look at it,
branches,
you can
right?
see it really grows across the top of the thicket and then also down the left-hand side. If you were to walk at the middle or the right-hand side, there's no real vines or flowers. It's this bamboo-like plant itself, metallic, that grows so close together, it's hard to kind of... There isn't a path to walk through. You would need to bend the thicket. You look at the Sharin that's partially in. The plants do bend underneath their weight. However, you remember seeing this android much further through. The bamboo plants didn't seem to bend at all. It seemed much more almost like iron bars underneath them.
so it gets like stronger further in.
Hard to tell.
You could
Perhaps.
throw the dead body into the thicket and see what happens.
I have a single grenade.
Well, the grenade's gonna hurt it, but the dead body, I mean, if
It's like floor to ceiling.
Almost, yeah. The tops of it just touching the ceiling in some places.
So we can't go over it.
I could scamper through. I could fit probably between the space, right?
I'm talking about, like, on the ceiling.
Yeah. There's some space, right? There's like a little bit of space. How much
A
space?
little bit in places.
Yeah.
You can't see a clear path through from the floor, but you could certainly try.
Can I like test the bamboo to like feel the sort of give of it?
You go up to the bamboo. I don't know why I'm smiling so much. It's just, now I'm smiling and it's hard not to. When you go to bend the bamboo, it doesn't move under your hand. And at first you think, oh, it's just a little stiffer than you might have imagined. But as you apply more and more force to it, it almost doesn't budge.
Oh, it's like a non-Newtonian fluid. Like the more you press on it, the harder it gets.
Your processor's word of life. And as you think about that, you pull your hand back and then just very gently lay into it. Still no movement.
So no.
Maybe if you don't look at it, maybe it's shy. Maybe if you turn around and walk backwards through it. That's an idea.
This is like not one of the artificial plants, right? This is something that presumably has been genetically modified.
How about we throw a dead body into the thicket and see how the plants react?
That's what I said 2 minutes ago.
Oh,
Maybe
sorry.
it's like the slap tie, and like once it has the pheromones on it, it like turns solid on you or something.
Well, I cleaned off the pheromones, right?
You
I
tried.
didn't.
Yeah, I tried.
You tried. I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried a little.
Bubbs, let's throw this Lashunta in there.
Oh, okay.
Grab its hands, I'll grab its legs.
All right.
Don't
Ready? 1, 2, 3, and they throw it into the
Awesome.
thicket.
You pick up the Lashunta operative. You can see missing an arm. Not a lot of it to throw, so not too hard. You grab the scraps that remain, tossing it into the thicket. It strikes, clang, and falls.
What?
sliding down. Almost metallic is this plant.
So how did the android get so far in?
What are you doing to... That is a good question.
Like, because when I tried to push
Yeah,
it didn't bend at all.
correct.
But right next to where I'm trying to push it, roughly, is the dead body with the pineapple.
Yeah, and underneath the
further
Sharon, you
in.
can see, even as like Spice came and pulled the pineapple a little bit, not quite out, you could see the bamboo underneath the Sharon move a little bit, as it would underneath the regular body. Absolutely.
Maybe when it's cut, it grows back stronger. And so this has all been cut because it's right at the entrance.
Nice.
You know, that's a good thought.
Smart.
Because
That's
then
smart.
that would make sense if someone could get through if they were the first one to show up. Doesn't help us our problem, but we could cut it. I don't like the idea of it, but
So we'd have to
I
move
don't
all
think we
together.
You
Attempt
said
to cut it.
it's metal around the bamboo of the android, right? Like metallic-like?
Yeah, all of the bamboo very metallic like.
Okay, so all
It
of
doesn't
it.
look different, right? Like
No.
there are no cut marks or anything.
No,
right?
looks almost exactly the same.
But the bamboo underneath the guy, the Lashunta, the Sharan is
bent.
bendy.
Yeah.
Can I see like what the difference is between the bamboo that's bending and the bamboo that
Make a
is
perception
rigid?
check. Yeah, for
Can
sure.
I see if it's like a life cycle thing?
Make a life sciences check. Absolutely.
25.
25. With a 25, you get really close, and you can kind of, on your Android eyes, you can see data roll across and kind of target it, and taking like a separate picture and putting them side by side, they look very similar. You don't notice a difference in the bamboo, and so you'd imagine, almost guaranteed, it is not the bamboo that you need to manipulate. What was your roll?
19.
With a 19, you don't think it's a life cycle thing. This all looks roughly the same. You look up at the top, and there are parts that are a little taller. But then you look down at this Sharan, and you can see right where the pineapple is shifted aside and now kind of like hanging out, pulling the body a little bit forward with the weight, that little white flower. The only real difference that you've seen so far in that body, and although you have not seen it from what Shade has said, has been that there is that flower and that plant rupturing through this creature, not the android.
So I'm thinking that in character, but I am thinking also that
We are one with our characters.
other plants interact with the metal bamboo somehow to make it more pliable.
I grab, because I'm having kind of a similar thought, and I grabbed the petal dust that we've been walking through, and I like confetti parade it at the thing, throwing it into the wicket.
Okay. So Gibbs, You pick up a big scoop of this biological snow, and as it blows across the thicket, you see all of these leaves as if a breeze is moving across, kind of bend, and each of these collide with the others. And as the petals fall and hit the ground, they almost seem to shift and stop.
So we just need to
Roll in the
roll in
pheromones.
the pheromones. We need to be one with the pheromones.
While also not breathing them in.
Yeah,
Well, that's what the suits are for.
right. So put it all on your suit, but don't.
So can we start? So Spice is gonna start picking all the white flowers.
No, not the white flowers. This is the dust, like the tiny windy,
The spore
the
stuff.
spore
Yeah, that's
stuff.
Okay.
everywhere around
The
us.
snowfall floor.
Can
Okay.
I attempt to fire the gravity gun like close to the ground to try and like
Yeah, absolutely.
blast, just like
Make a roll
like
for that.
slow snow plow it kind
You,
of.
But we
you,
gotta be ready to run.
you pull
Yeah.
the pistol out just to try this out, and you aim right at the base of the thicket. And as you fire, this burst of gravity hits, and the snow, it's almost like a snowblower, just is ignited across the entirety of the thicket, and the entire thing shifts like a hurricane moves through it. The bamboo colliding, you actually hear little areas where it kind of like pulls away from the ground. That's a pretty big burst of energy. But certainly, yeah, that works.
I stuff my pockets filled with the thing because I'm thinking we're gonna get halfway through and all of a sudden it's gonna back and we're gonna get stuck. So I'm gonna fill as much of pockets in of the snowfall flower.
Sure.
Spice does that with her arms.
Okay, so you, Spice, now just with this big arm load, you have it in all of your cargo vest pockets, absolutely. Are you doing anything, Bubbs?
Yeah, I think I'd probably copy them and put a little bit on myself as well.
Okay.
She's still got the 2 flowers in her hair.
As you do this, there is this weird sensation to these flowers. They're not as dirty as you would imagine. In fact, some part of you feels almost comforted by the smell. It's a very, very weird experience for you.
Me?
Yeah,
I can't smell though.
you can smell this.
Ooh. All right.
It's delicate, and it's something that almost undetectable to anybody who hasn't had a smell in a very long time. But for the first time, that thing, that emotion that you feel, is the fact that you can smell this flower just a little bit.
Can you not smell?
He
Yeah.
can't because of his
Condition.
Febreze aura. I don't know what else to call
Yeah.
it.
Can
like that.
Spice smell it?
Yeah.
No sponsor.
Everyone else
smells
Through the
flowers.
suit? Oh, okay.
With your suit on, you no longer smell it now. But yeah, there's a floral scent to the air.
I have the pleasant opportunity to smell myself.
Odor sensors.
Are you doing anything, Shade?
I think I would probably like rub a little bit on
Okay.
and then get ready so that I can kind of time the shot and then just like run after the flow of the
Sounds good.
sort of like,
we
you know,
can
I'm kind of
slingshot
like,
ourselves across while you shoot the gun and the rest of us.
well, I'm thinking more like I fire
You have jump
the
jets, don't you?
yeah.
So couldn't you? So you jump jet across or some shit, and we just run after you?
Run.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking like I fire the gravity gun and it's sort of like a boat going through and it creates a wake behind it and you guys kinda,
That's exactly what it
run
looks
through
like.
the
You can
right
see, like,
and like
the-
we kind of run through the wake behind
Okay.
it. So it's gonna take some timing, but like
We got this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna snowplow as much of the stuff to the front of
Yeah.
like as much of the snow fall flowers to the front of the bamboo so there's like a big like snowdrift for him to gravity gun.
Sure. Yeah, with your tail dragging along the ground, you like scoop extra up and kind of pass it along, making a big, almost like a leaf pile in autumn. Big pile in front of the thicket.
is everyone ready?
All right, we all like
Yeah.
get ready to run. Sprinter pose, hand on the ground.
I'm going to fire the gravity gun.
Bubbs, are you ready?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just
Wait, where's the
distracted.
pose?
Yeah.
Um,
We're ready?
I think I could smell this stuff. I've never.
Smells nice, doesn't it?
I've never really.
Ready?
Oh, sorry.
my
Oh,
mark.
okay, yeah. I'll get ready. Yeah. And I'm gonna like do like a runner's pose with his leg on the ground, like very,
All
very.
of us like at the mark for the
overcompensating.
marathon or the sprint.
I'm basically like shooting and running as I shoot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like jump jetting.
Sure. So with Shade in the lead, you pull the trigger on this.
Countdown. I'm counting down.
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
Right through the thicket, you see this burst of gravity pull these petals along. The pile that you made explodes across this entire place. Almost like an instant hurricane just goes straight through, and you see the huge wake of all of these trees moving. You take off, all of you moving through 10 feet. It's almost like you're moving through nothing, like tall grass. 20 feet in, as the petals have already begun to fall, and you can feel this becoming more stiff and a little bit more resistant.
Pocket sand!
But with Gibbs pocket sanding these petals all over the place. There are weird little places where all of a sudden, like, everything is flexible and movable, but you hit this one patch that, like, it kind of makes you trip a little bit. Yeah. It's a little uneven, but without any issue. It's a very creative use of that gravity gun. Nice. You guys make your way through the thicket.
Wow, we beat the trap.
Yay.
As you do, when you get towards the end, that android that you had seen almost had made it to the very, very far side. You can see this android a little bit better now. How much does Shade know about, like, androids?
Probably just like, standard,
Okay.
like
Standard
short brown hair,
maintenance.
square jawed, really
like,
scruffy, dyed
I know
blue.
myself as an android. I know my specs.
Sure, okay.
What's in the main?
Have you
know my
met other
specs and
androids?
stuff. I've met like a couple androids.
Okay.
But like,
Bub's not an android.
yeah, Bubbs is an android.
This is very suspicious.
Yeah, no,
You
I
see this android has moved over almost to the end. The bamboo, and you can see there are scrapes all along their body. They are bruised. They clearly forced their way through this bamboo, using essentially just pure athletics alone to haul himself through the narrow parts. At the very end of this, you could see it's almost like he was unable to progress any further, although from the eye sockets in the mouth, you can see what looks almost like sap, amber-colored, running out. You see small elements from the mouth as the sap almost like drips down and not quite, a little too viscous to fall. There are tiny chewed up elements of the violet petals.
The violet petals, not the white.
Not the lilac flowers, or is that...
Violet, lilac, yeah, same thing,
Okay.
sorry.
So there's the white ones that make
voluntarily
pineapples.
ingested that?
I don't think it was voluntary. I just don't think they were as smart of us with the hoods. But that being said, you've got a white flower and a lilac flower in your hair. You might want to reconsider that, because that's awfully close to your mouth.
I mean, she's got the Daft Punk, like,
Oh, okay.
over her face.
Fine.
It's more just like taped to your helmet.
Yeah, it's like not
There's
inside.
like two little like
wedged into- yeah.
creases where the visor is, and you just wedged them in.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool.
So you guys find yourselves on the other side of this thicket of metallic bamboo. Give me just 1 second.
We cleared the bamboo, guys. Proud of you.
I really thought we were going to get stuck there forever.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like keeping tabs on the time too.
Sure.
Like
At the moment, you guys have something like 40 minutes left.
it's already been an
minutes?
hour and 20
You
minutes.
guys have been, yeah, absolutely it has.
Guys, we gotta start making some
Run.
rash decisions.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. You have an hour.
It's been 40 minutes, and we have
think
an hour.
I've got
20.
No, 20 minutes, and we have an hour and 40 minutes left.
We have
That's
5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Oh
You
shit!
have an hour and 30 minutes remaining.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, holy shit!
We gotta
we,
go.
we were hanging out with her Shistwick too long.
Yeah.
Spent too much quality time with that little charrette in the toilet. So about 50 feet further down the hallway, now that you've emerged on the other side of the bamboo thicket, you can see a large double security door. Slightly frosted glass reveals maybe a staircase beyond, and you can see printed or stenciled rather onto the door in white paint, floor 24. Certainly the staircase to go up. Attached to the glass is a gigantic 12-foot tall purple and yellow pitcher plant with dark green, almost iron-like leaves and vines that sneak across the glass. The pitcher's organic lid has many barbs that drip with a viscous purple substance, and even from here you can smell, although not you, Bubbs, a sickly sweet aroma drifting from that
Pitcher plant.
whatever it is, yeah. Inside of the pitcher plant, even from this distance, you can see the red and white striped outfit that a security guard would wear. you see as you get a little bit closer, maybe within 25 feet now, as the lights here flicker badly, there is a key card around their neck. You would imagine normally you would need to reach in here and extract it. However, you currently have a key card of your own.
Wait, but the guy said we needed the password.
That's for floor 25.
Okay.
Yeah. For the botanical labs on floor 25.
Yeah.
And as you look to the other side of the door from that jar plant, you can see a little key card slot. Again, that same animation rehashed into this, the swipe card animation.
Can I really quickly loot the android that died in the thicket? And can I check for evidence that it's been previously looted?
Is it accessible? Isn't it still like in the thicket?
Most of it is out. It made it most of the way through. So it's got like torso back is in the thicket still. But yeah, go ahead. 1 second here. Let me pull them up.
While we're in a pause,
Yeah.
Spice is gonna hand over the nets to Shade for the net gun. So now you have
29.
nets.
How many nets?
It's a wisdom stat, I think, and that's why it's.
I don't
good for
fucking
me.
know.
You pull the body aside, kind of looking, and
Some
instantly
nets, period.
you see on the
Let me
collar,
see.
or on the collarbone
I
where
have
that
so
would
many
be.
notes, and none of them are useful.
On the collarbone, or where it would be, where there's not an android, you can see BACH-22. That is probably their model number.
22?
Bach 22.
Love the acronym name.
A square jaw with a scruffy dyed blue goatee. You see a pretty badly cauliflowered ear. They do appear to have been looted. However, with that roll, give me 1 second.
They were already looted.
Yeah.
Probably by another bounty hunter team.
Well, maybe not a bounty hunter team. I think by whoever
Or
is.
Jade.
Yeah, like Jade or whatever, which is good to know.
Wedged in, and you have to kind of move the body around in your hands as they scrape across the metal, really scratching away, looking for something. You depress something, and this little compartment opens in the android.
Oh, they had a secret compartment.
There is a grenade within,
Ooh.
Yeah, it's up my butt.
Holy shit!
and it seems
Just
to
took my
have
whole fist
been
out
well
there.
hidden.
Holy shit! It's a
hidden
level
away
8
there.
item.
Let me see.
It's fucking great.
Oh,
I will
my
put
goodness.
it in the pocket
Nice.
with the soda.
Okay, you take a look at this grenade, almost like a cylinder that fits in your hand. You see this flame marking on it, and you see stenciled across USR, there's a batch number. This is a military issue item. Probably not something you want to be caught with, necessarily. But, that being said, you find that on the android, not a whole lot more. It's been well looted. This was a lucky find.
Nice, thank you. Nice. So picture plant, can you tap out your idea, Badger? Mr. Man?
Am I able to just like swipe access without having to deal with the pitcher plant at all?
Yeah, so it's like a 12-foot wide door, so you can go all the way to the other side, and that's where the key card is.
Oh, okay.
You don't even need to get close to it. Had you not found that security guard, there may have been a much
Would've
worse
had to, like-
process.
Yeah, to like grab it out of his
you
mouth.
did make that decision to go and find him in the bathroom, and that paid off.
Great. Yeah, I'm gonna swipe us through.
No
Open
problem.
the door.
You approach the door, and with no problem whatsoever, the door
Two
opens
traps. Two traps, team.
up. Look at
We
that.
just shaved off like 45
45 minutes. You better watch out, Jade.
The doors open up to either side. These frosted glass panes almost lifting a little bit and retracting
like
into
a-
the walls. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And you see in front of you a
Sci-fi.
25-foot tall staircase. Up it, you can see these little floating iron discs. And as you approach, the first one just kind of lights up. And you see it's like a little portrait. Underneath floating, you see this little text that floats around the metallic disc in a band, almost like a banner. This one reads, Wishek Yiskiter, CXO. Do any of you read Shiren?
Oh fuck! I speak so many languages, and Sharen's not one of them.
I don't think I have it. I
don't
don't,
have
even, I don't know if I
You
even
do
speak
see-
common.
That was one of the things
have
for
any language.
Envoy. You can like choose a bunch of
Go
different
to
things. I know for
It's
a fact
definitely
because
not
I can
Sharon, yeah.
choose,
Yeah, yeah.
and Sharon was not one of them.
So unfortunately, you do see at the very top of the staircase
But-
over the next doorway. Oh,
It is a skill if I spend 10 minutes or something. Let me look this up.
We have no time.
Who was this guy?
I can read. I can like decipher language, but
Oh,
it,
his
you know, it takes
Right.
time.
Can I
Just staring at the picture for 10
infosphere
minutes.
translate it?
you could certainly try, but as you bring up your communicator, you remember again there is no signal here.
What about the goblin communicator?
Ooh, does that have a web
Interesting
browser?
It doesn't have a web browser, so again, this is more like a walkie-talkie.
Right.
So just some
Got it.
random guy who worked there.
No,
He
this was
donated a wing
The
or something.
CXO.
No, this was the
The
guy.
chief Zynander.
We don't know
Are
what a
you guys-
CXO is.
Are you guys climbing the staircase?
No obvious signs of traps or anything.
I
I'm
can
just
read
like a,
in
you know,
1 minute 250 words,
Okay,
but I have to do a culture check.
make a culture check.
26.
That giant dice.
I know.
Combat
I like
camera for the dice.
the loud. Ooh, I hate to see that.
Put that on camera.
It
It's
is.
a 13.
A 13. Okay, what was yours?
26.
With a 26, you get a little closer and you begin to look, and as you do, the second disc lights up, and you recognize these are like little proximity statuettes, but holographs, floating in the air as you walk up. The second one reads, Inhul Shishawik, founder.
Okay, so it's a bunch of employees.
And as you kind of
What was
like
his name
muse
again?
on that,
What was his name?
Shishawak is a company, right?
Yehuic Shishawik, which is, and yes, Shishawik Genetic Solutions is the name of the company. It says founder next to the name as it
founder.
goes around the metallic disc floating in the air. Spice, as you take a couple seconds and look up, you can see there is some words in Sharon near the top, and translating it relatively quickly using your diplomatic skills, you recognize that it says Hall of Founders. Each of these is perhaps one of the founders of this company.
So how many discs? Yes, I go.
You see 5 discs.
With her
that
hands, she's going.
Can I?
float. Two on either side of the staircase, and then the one slightly larger right up at the top.
And that's Ihawik.
No, you haven't gotten that high. So
Okay.
far, not touching the staircase, Shade's gotten really close to it, and 2 of them have turned on. The rest probably as you move up. This is almost like an interactive, like instead of like the old portraits painted on the wall, these are floating holographic versions.
Okay.
With the 26, you take a look, and as far as you can tell, there aren't any traps. But as you get closer, and before you even touch the staircase, you can see there is a reception desk up at the top. Up near the top is where the heaviest amount of this biological snow that you've ever seen is. Not just a drift, but in places here, it piles feet high. You can also see, sort of up near the top of the space, a huge flowering mass of tendrils with a central circular petalless flower that rests in the center of the wall. There is a decomposing corpse that is slowly disappearing in, and you can see like little tendrils actually underneath the skin, and kind of pulling away at little bits within as this is just pulled into this plant. The door does seem to be relatively secure. You can see there are orange metallic hazard stickers that have been placed on the armor of whatever creature is disappearing within this plant. But you don't notice any traps necessarily. You do smell rosemary for some reason, but that's what you notice.
Okay. No new flowers or plant life besides the ones with the tendrils.
You can
Or the
smell
one.
that rosemary, and that definitely feels like it's probably plant
Right.
related. You don't see
But I
the
don't
source
see
yet.
any. Okay.
Would now be a good time to relocate Jade? Do we all think we're close enough?
Shoot,
We
when we
should
first
make it to the
started,
24th floor.
she was on the 24th floor,
Which
but we now know she's not in a ventilation system, and she is probably in front of whatever vats are in the botanical labs, right? Like, we know she's there, right?
Yeah.
okay.
So, like, are
Given
the
what
discs
Herschel said.
movable? Can I pocket a disc? Can I, like, detach it from its magnetic stance and just, like, put it in my pocket?
So going up, as you take the first couple steps, you can see more of them light up. But you go to the first one that you saw, Fushek Yezgitter, the CXO, and it's almost like a fire, a smoke detector. You just need to take the bottom part and unscrew it, and the top part comes right off. The hologram flickers out as the power source is separated. But yeah, you could take that little disc.
Dope.
As we're doing this, I think I'm just gonna write down, just like on a data pad or something, all the words that I'm seeing.
Okay. So as Gibbs climbs a couple of the stairs, you see all 5 of them light up. It's only a 25-foot high staircase, so even taking 4 or 5 steps, you get near the middle, and all of them seem to activate. You already got the first 2. The third one is Ashdis Quimer, which is the founder / COO. The second disc on the right reads F. Kazik, which is the founder or CIO. And then the large one in the middle, as you get closer to it. Siset Kreblik, just like you would spell it. Shashawik.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Found SSETBCKREB. I'll add it to your document later.
Okay.
This is the founder and the CEO. Prevalent in front, really looming over everything. And you would imagine perhaps the only current Shashawik currently still employed, yes.
Okay, so this is the big guy.
Actively.
Gibbs, you are leading the group up the stairs, basically. And
Sure.
as you are in front, you do notice as you get to the top, as the perspective shifts and you can see more of this decomposing corpse emerging from the armor, through the joints, through parts of the metal itself, stiff twigs of rosemary, live, that are growing and puncturing through the middle of the body.
You know, when I've seen that, it was used in like pork chops and pastries.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it can eat you back.
Doesn't smell bad.
Yeah.
You also notice by the door there is an eye scanner.
Ooh.
And next to that, there is a little booth that emerges maybe 6 feet from the wall. You can see a doorway through the booth that leads beyond. That booth may be like a little security terminal. Mm-hmm. There is like a very thin sort of visual port where somebody might be able to see. You don't see anybody through it, not from this distance, but that also seems to have like a little bit of a flickering light. There's definitely something that is within there.
So from the top of the staircase, can I get to the booth without getting close to the tendrily plant on the back wall?
Yeah. So you just go to the far right side of the staircase. You kind of put your back up against the wall and just kind of slide into the room.
Yeah.
Far away from the tendrils. As you do get closer, that plant does seem to kind of turn, almost like it watches you.
If I see, like, whoever's coming up behind me, probably Shade, if he gets to a similar distance, does he seem to attract its attention? If I spend a moment to, like, watch it and watch Shade?
You watch Shade get to the top and kind of look around. This plant still seems very oriented towards you.
This is going to be the reason why I shouldn't have triggered that trap earlier. But maybe as long as I've got its attention, you guys can move pretty freely. I was going to go check out this little boothy thing over here. Can I do that? You guys cool with that?
I don't want to... As your captain, I don't want you to be put in danger, so no.
Okay, well, we need an eyeball for the visual scanner. So,
Can we not use one of the dead bodies? So what?
We should go in pairs if you're going to go check out this other room.
You got pheromoned with me, so you should be here too. You washed it off, right? Or
I
no, you just
attempted
took a
to.
bottle?
Should we have one pheromone, one not per team?
No. That
No.
would endanger
yeah.
everyone.
So you should come with me, Jade.
Let's go check out this security room.
Yep.
Okay.
Follow.
The two of you head off to the right and opening up the door. And the door, actually not even opening up, there is no door. You can see there's a little desk. There is the mostly remains of a corpse. You can see maybe the legs of whatever is kind of dragged over and in the other plant. You see up on the desk a little security terminal. There is what looks like maybe a password prompt to open the door. You take off your pinky cap and plug in your USB 5, and you get to work. Go ahead and make a
It's your
computers
day.
check.
It's
Pinky. first check is to make sure that there's no
Okay.
firewalls and all that,
computer.
as is often the case. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty
You're
20.
just watching.
I do every time.
So
Constantly confused as to how this works and why it works. Because I don't know shit about computers, but it works.
you
Feels
plug
so
your
good.
finger into the computer, Olive,
Sorry.
and as you do, you check for any kind of countermeasures. You don't see a firewall. What you do see is a pretty well encrypted system, is a high encryption. There is also a password, and so the idea is really that's the security that's keeping you out. With a high enough check, you could probably bypass it. Also, there is a password. Should you be able to use that
Can we perception for the password?
as a
Hint.
third possible chance? You do have this eye scanner right in front of the door. These seem to be 3 different ways you could bypass this door.
I want to try to do
Thanks, Talon.
like a bubble sort, or like run through all the possible password combinations and
Okay.
try
The
to
computer's
you know,
job.
Force it.
No, not
Unless you want to
force,
just
not
take
brute
10,
force
and
it.
you could just
No,
take
I
10
don't want to brute
force it.
force it. I want to
If I lift
Try
up the
to-
keyboard and like look in the desk, is there a sticky note with a password on it?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I'll do that while he does whatever the fuck he's doing over there.
ooh 27.
Okay.
14.
Okay. Gibbs, you pull open the one desk drawer, and immediately you see half of a candy bar. Nothing else is accomplished. However, that's fine as Shade with your roll. You're able to very quickly bypass this password. You kind of take the first couple of things. You see what the first 2 letters are. And as they are both SS, your mind kind of goes back to the different discs that are floating right in front of you. The one that is front and center. Yes, that one. That one
Nice.
has the 2 S's in there. You type in their name. The password is accepted. You see the little light outside the door turn green. And you would imagine, should you guys approach, the door will open.
But the door is also where the plant that's going to kill us is.
You don't know that it's going to kill you,
Well,
but there's a
it's
very
like-
large plant suspended from part of the door.
It's got like half of another security guard in
Right.
there.
Is there anything else in this room of interest besides the candy bar I just ate?
Besides the candy bar that you just ate, there's not a whole lot in here. You can see there's like a little ballpoint pen. There is a running fan, if that's helpful to you at all, made out of metal.
Mine now! If it fits in my cargo vest, I'll take the ballpoint pen, but probably not the fan.
Okay.
This isn't the slap tie, right? Or the slaptus?
You haven't seen anything like the slap tie, and you'd imagine really that pheromone probably derived from that plant. It may be genetically modified, or there are other plants modified to react to it. And as you get closer, nothing really happens, but as Gib exits the security room, you do notice this big plant kind of turns and seems to almost burble from within, watching Gibbs as if it had eyes.
You've got a jar of the pheromone stuff. I have a vial of plant pheromones, and you have a vial of plant pheromones, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So it wants me because I tripped that, and I have that on me, and I can't do shit about that. But maybe if I throw the vial, like, across the room, and then we dump through the door, then...
If it's a higher concentration, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, I, like, wash, and I, like, pooped myself. So, like, it's definitely a higher
That was the
concentration.
best moment in all
my
of Starfinder so far.
That's great.
That was
It was
fucking
a solution
hilarious.
to a problem.
Not the first time that pooping has been a solution to a problem.
I'm not even
What?
gonna, I don't even want to delve further into that. So, for all of you now, the door presumably lies open. What do you guys want to do?
I want to try to carefully go towards the door, being cautious that this plant is gonna like react to me. Just to kind of, I'm not going. I'm just testing the waters, so to speak.
And I'm gonna stay keeping its attention on the opposite side of the door. Knowing it's gonna follow me, I'm gonna go to like the other corner of the room so that my friends can get through the door and I can figure out what I'll do.
So you slide back to the staircase and move to the other side.
Yeah.
And as you get closer, that whole plant shifts towards you. From the vines, you could hear them kind of pulling, stretching. And as it moves and leans away, you can see the vines connecting to the wall, the ceiling, not the door proper. And so if the door to open, the creature won't fall off. It's not going to be hurt necessarily. People could presumably just go through. It's certainly paying attention to you right now.
Okay.
Gibbs, you can't go alone.
No. I'm gonna come after, and I might need you guys to like pull me through the door. But it's better if you're in front, pulling me into where I need to go, than like behind me, suffering the same consequences I'm suffering. So go first, and I'll follow. And I've got to.
I already am.
Yeah.
Shade's just walking through the door.
I don't understand, so I'm gonna reach out and grab your hand.
Yes, all of you, just like.
Don't you have that
pull
rope
me.
still?
Yeah, this,
got a
I
rope?
wanna.
The
I
glass
want
have
a
door
that
is
second.
hard for you,
The
Shade.
one you tied to
And the
yourself when
plant
you were
hasn't
climbing.
reacted or anything?
Nope, you can see, and
and
now
I-
there is active little bits of drool that are like coming down from the plant, but it's leaning towards Gibbs. As you walk by, no reaction.
Since I can get close enough to it, can I like get a better look at the body that's on there and like how it's responding to Gibbs? Like
Yeah, make a perception check.
is it, if Gibbs gets closer, does it get closer, or is it sort of like, is it like once Gibbs reaches a certain point, it's just gonna snap or something?
For that, make a life sciences check.
So are we gonna do the rope thing?
Yes.
I'll pass a rope to you that
16.
I have tied around my tail.
Hard
Okay.
to tell. You take a look, and as Gibbs is kind of like over in one corner, this creature certainly almost leaning off the wall, but you don't really know how it's working or how it's interacting. You do get a little closer, and seeing the creature within, definitely another security guard at one point, certainly a Sharen. There is this bubbling liquid that you can see at first almost like drool, but now
the
like
violet
digestive
stuff?
juice. Huh?
Was it the violet,
purple
like
stuff,
sappy
yeah.
stuff?
It is. It's like an amber colored, or sorry, yeah, like a violet sap. What are you looking for in terms of this body?
The sap is presumably coming from this plant.
Yes, certainly.
And it's like some sort of acidic or corrosive.
Corrosive, yeah, definitely. You can kind of smell the caustic fumes as the plastic and metal of the armor is burned away.
Okay. Just kind of like, so that's 3 security guards now. We might not see 2 that are alive because they might have been the 2 that we saw that are already dead.
Well, if we happen to find them, we'll
Yeah.
Show them to
do
the
our
elevator.
best. Yeah, like,
Go through
as
the weeds,
door
the bamboo forest, and
As
then
they
you
open,
go through the
You can
toilet.
see within a large-scale genetic laboratory. You can see there's been a lot of destruction, a lot of chaotic reconstruction as well. There are plants everywhere. Give me 1 second.
Is this is still floor 24 though, right?
no, we went up the stairs, so now we're floor 25, right?
Yeah.
You are on floor 25.
Oh, okay.
Look at us. That's gonna make me have to use the bathroom so badly.
I
For, like,
know.
sloshing
We'll
liquids.
pull it
God,
down.
beer's
It's good
deep.
that
Yeah,
we're
right.
almost at
like-
break time.
It's always like at break time. I'm always, I gotta go.
You can see in this mess of plants and reconstructed genetic material, one of the things that is very interesting to you, as the door is open, on the ground, almost none of this biological snow. None of these petals, really. Although looking far off, you think maybe you can see a few. You do see across this room, and in the middle of this huge room, there is a gigantic flower. Maybe, let me give you a little visual perspective.
Oh, there it is. I was waiting for that.
Yay.
I can get through this door though, without getting gobbled.
This is large.
Oh wow.
This
Oh my God, I can see the flower.
is 2 stories. So you can see, you guys are entering from over there. You actually are
Fuck is that scary thing
coming
in there?
right at the edge there.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It looks dead.
Here, I'll throw on this
looks at
combat
peace.
cam so people can kind of
That
see.
looks like part of the genetic lab, so like that looks like normal.
This is very much a genetic lab, and you can see there are parts of it that are certainly normal. But in the middle of this space, through 2 different panes of very, very clear, crystal clear, beautifully clear and clean glass doors, Shade, you can see this massive plant just gently kind of moving in the breeze. And standing right in the center of it, you can see Jade Brunaei, the space elf, although you can see on the forearms, on the neck, almost bark-like textures.
Like melded with this plant.
Not melded with this plant, but you can see for her, there's elements of her skin that is certainly plant-like.
This
A
is the
different,
tree form.
Yeah.
perhaps.
Probably.
Can I've got Bubbs with the other end of a rope attached to him and to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw the jar of pheromones that I have at the thing to try and like overwhelm its senses as I'm gonna dive through the door.
Okay.
And try and like move as quickly into this room as I can
Sure.
to avoid the nonsense with the door flower.
And I'm gonna try to pull her as hard
Yeah.
as I can.
So like he's gonna help me move fast.
I'm gonna try to get sneaky since I've now made it
Okay.
through, I guess.
Make a stealth check.
And then
Not all the way through there at the other end. So there are these two, you can see
Like,
these
right
panes
here.
of glass doors that are separating.
So I'm like right here.
You guys were recently in the Rat King spaceport. You've seen what are...
It's the disinfecting.
yeah, so this is a
that.
double disinfecting series of chambers that leads into the laboratory space.
Gross.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
You are outside two of them.
Okay.
And thinking about those flower petals, that kind of makes sense why there isn't any in here.
Right.
That being said, you can see Jade at the moment, unclear if she sees you, doesn't react immediately.
Okay.
And then beyond that, you can see there are staircases that go up. And right behind the plant is in a huge vat that is ruptured open and the plant has emerged. You can see on either side of the plant, there is darkness that leads into a doorway underneath. Those two staircases go up onto what you can see. There is,
okay.
there's a whole thing underneath there.
Okay. So those go down.
There's
and
another-
this is-
No, those
Giganto
staircases go up to what you can see right now.
okay,
If
but
you
there's
move that
another
away-
under.
So pull that off.
There's like a
That
mezzanine.
is on the ground
yeah.
floor.
Okay, I see.
When you put what Ari has in her hand on, that's floor 2.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Cool.
So,
And there's no white petals in the room, you said, correct?
you're not there yet. You do not
Okay,
know.
no. But just what you said previously.
Yes.
Okay.
Very, almost none.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Dallin.
Yes.
Natural 20 for the sneak.
Okay.
Nice.
You get really close to this door. You can see the silhouette of Jade. And so there is a moment where you realize you're going to tip her off if you go through this main area. You look up, and for the first time, you are relieved to see already the vent cover has been removed. You can see light coming from the other side. If you want, you can climb up and just go straight through, bypassing both of these. You'll still emerge kind of in the front, but at the very least, the doors won't open. The cleaning cycles won't engage twice. It's a little bit sneakier.
Yeah, I'll try to get the jump on her.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get up there and then be looking. Can I still see the rest of the crew? Like if I'm kind of
Yeah, you have to kind of like bend down, look
Yeah,
between
like
your legs, but yeah, you
peeking
definitely
out
can.
through the vent.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to be able to, when Gibbs is going through,
Okay.
if it looks like she's gonna get fucked,
Okay.
I want to pull with the gravity gun.
Sure. Gibbs, you throw this vial. Shatters in the ground. This plant lurches through. You can see elements of this armor almost come out of the mouth and then swallowed back in. And in this moment, you dart across. You don't even need Bubbs' help. You make it just flying right in. The concentration of pheromones so much greater over there, it almost blinds it to you.
I want to make Bubbs feel like, though, I did need his help. So I definitely,
You like pull back on the rope a little bit.
I stutter a little bit, so that way Bubbs does have to kind of yank me along.
Oh my god, that was so close. Oh my
I know,
god.
so scary.
Oh.
Woo.
Make a bluff
Thank
check.
God you were there, though, because I couldn't do this without you. You are a valuable member of our team. And I want you to know that I really think you're super duper important, and I got an 11.
These words, though, you hear them all. Maybe it's just because everything is so busy and frantic. They don't sound super genuine to you.
Don't patronize me, Gibbs.
Would Bubbs pick up on that, though?
Up to you.
That is the question.
All of you now stand about 5 feet away from Shade, who has kind of made their way up and into one of the vents. You can now see through these 2 glass doors, through the maybe 30 feet of decontamination chambers, this massive plant. Bubbs. At first, this person, Jade, standing on the top of the plant, you can see the eyes, look at Shade, look at Spice, look at Gibbs.
Oh, she sees us?
Yeah. These are two glass
Doesn't
doors.
see me though.
Does not see you.
Okay.
So the eyes
Loading the net gun.
Okay. The eyes go through the glass. They kind of wander over each of you. But, Bubbs, when the eyes settle on you, something about them changes.
Oh shit! She hates you.
But no.
They soften almost.
Oh, she loves
Bubbs
you.
is a ladies' man. Finally.
Why is it not Giz?
It's Jubs.
You hear off next to you, Shade, you hear next to you, or sorry, not Shade, yeah, because you're up in the vents, right? You hear a small computerized voice that says, "De-arming contamination chambers." The little light outside of the decontamination chambers just turns green and the doors open. All of them, just completely de-sterilizing the chamber. You see now with the glass moved aside, there are sets of workstations on the ground, 4 massive genetic vats. The one in the middle has been dragged there or moved there otherwise from another place.
This one?
Yes, the one that the plant
plants,
is moving
yeah.
from. So definitely this has been reconfigured. You can see like wires running to that from other sections. This has been kind of reestablished into some other use. Bubbs. From across the room, you can see Jade turns her head. There is no charismatic smile. There is none of the showmanship on the TV. And she says, "Little Bubbles, you're alive." And because it is 7:40, this is where we're going to take our break. But when we come back, we'll see why Jade Brunaei
Your
got
name
called.
is really Bubbles? Bubbles! Bubbles!
So it is
Forget Adam
7.
Price. Forget Bugs. Bubbles.
It is 7:40, and we will be back at 7:50.
Oh, man.
So 10-minute break really quick. Thank you for hanging out with us through our earlier technical difficulties. We'll be back in just a little bit. We'll see you then.
Little bubbles, they pop, they
You
explode.
guys were
And howdy, folks. Welcome back to Mosaic Team 5. Thank you for hanging out with us through the break and also through some of our earlier technical difficulties. We're going to get right back into things in our Starfinder campaign.
Schmectical difficulties.
Schmectical difficulties. Give me just one moment to set up our sound.
We need some swishy water sound that I've got in the bathroom.
Swish, swish, swish. I'll turn those way up. Bubbs. Across these now open glass doorways, you can see standing on the middle part of this flower, Jade Brunaei, this space elf, although elements of the soft skin now almost sealed over with bark. She looks at you, the eyes softening, and she says, "You're alive. Little Bubbles, what a rare opportunity." White virus, and all of a sudden for you can hear this like buzz in your ears. Clean thunder, black seed, broken light. And I need you to make a will saving throw, please. And everybody else, as you see suddenly the vines and parts of this plant begin to move and shift, go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, shit. 16.
She still hasn't seen me, has she?
Okay. This is going to get really interesting. No, as far as you know, you are very well hidden.
Okay.
And she rolled terrible.
Okay, cool. Cool. We like that.
And you guys just keep track of your initiative for 1 second. But the world fades to you. Give me one moment. Bubbs.
Watch out.
You hear children's laughter.
Bro.
Say again?
You hear children's laughter.
Okay.
Just like that. In the darkness around you, suddenly the lights begin to flicker, and as your eyes dart up, you see a faded poster hanging on the white walls that read, "Safe Haven Youth Protective Services. Rebuilding Lives." On the poster, you can see the overworked but well-meaning social worker who their own anxiety often got in the way of them doing a good job. Smiling out from this poster, somebody has drawn a mustache across them in purple crayons. You remember this poster well, although not really from where. Now, little Bubbles, can you repeat the words I asked you to remember at the beginning of our session? You turn your head and look across a familiar faux wooden table that you remember being in the Safe Haven day room. Sitting across from you is a younger Jade Brunaei. She wears a crisp black lab coat, and on it there is a silver bar pin over the left breast that reads SRG002. She wears a pair of black glasses that project data screens down as holograms instead of lenses. You see data fly across the screen. Go ahead, Bubbs, make an intelligence check. You begin to think, calling for those words.
An 8 plus...
That's 9.
No. 9 plus... Intelligence?
Every point
Yes.
counts.
Wait a minute.
If you rolled a 9, every point.
Just 9.
Yeah, just 9.
Just
0.
9?
Yeah, it's 0. There it is.
You reach, you scrape towards the back of your mind. Colors. Weather. You can't remember the words. Unfortunate, Bubbs. Give me one moment.
Ruler to the knuckles.
Around you, that sourceless children's laughter dies down. In, from this door that suddenly appears as if a spotlight shines on it from the dark, enters an older human man, perhaps 70 or so. He is immaculately dressed in a similar black lab coat, though under SRG002 there is another pin. This one reads, Dr. Maldross. His hair is auburn and cut close to the head, with flecks of gray only just beginning to poke through. You can see the hawkish eyes set back slightly, the nose crooked. How has he progressed mentally? You can see now Jade turns. He's doing quite well. With another week of work, and by using the attenuated and undamaged version of Gaia's mutagen, Dr. Maldross sighs. Dr. Brunaei, we've had this conversation already. Your methods are noble. if misguided and naive. Nuke the mutagen, administer it to him while the material is still degraded, and he has a chance to fuse properly, just like Subject 3. Jade almost seems to shift and move in front of you, Bubbs, protectively. But it will make Subject 2 experience side effects. We might not be able to control what happens. And the mutagen... What, Jade? The mutagen has feelings? It's a sample in a test tube, not a baby. If you can't do this, Dr. Brunaei, there are hundreds that would take your place gladly. Is this too much for you? You can see Jade look conflicted for just a moment. The eyes flick down to you, Bubbs. No, Dr. Maldross. Good. Get it done. I'm late for a lockout game that I have money on. Send the results to my communicator. Suddenly, Bubbs, you kind of shake your head. The darkness seems to almost draw back, and you're back in this laboratory. And we're going to go right into initiative from there. So, give me just 1 second here. Anybody naturally 20 on that initiative roll?
I haven't even rolled.
Down just a little bit.
12. Plus 3, I think.
Okay. I'm going to give you a -4 conditional modifier as you're a little preoccupied.
But holy shit, I also got a 15. We would have matched
We
again.
always match.
We always match.
Interestingly, that ties you with Jade. It is almost certain. What's your
Dex?
yeah.
Plus 3.
Yeah, so Jade's going to go first.
Fuck, I always have the higher dex.
Well, because
Okay.
you're fighting against Gibbs.
25 to 20. 20 to 15.
15.
Okay.
19.
19 for Shade. Not bad. 15 for Gibbs. Spice, where are you?
Tenzo with my super high initiative
Yeah, I was going to
bonus.
say, you're usually up there.
Do you have a high initiative
I have
bonus?
+6 initiative.
Oh, me
Jeez.
too.
Oh,
Shade.
Yeah.
did you take it as a feat? I took it as a feat.
It's part of my mechanic thing.
Shade.
Look at
I'm
you guys
overclocked.
bond over
Shade, you will be going first, followed by Gibbs, followed by Jade, then Bubbs, and then Spice. However, at the top of the round, you look up. Over on the very far side of the wall, you can see there is a screen and a little, almost like a plastic flaps to a very large doorway, almost 20 feet tall. You can see a little track that runs along the ceiling in a way that would open over this plant.
Like here? Going this way?
Yeah, running horizontally across.
Okay.
So, go ahead and Shade, as you are leading us off, roll a d6 for me.
6. It's the
It
same
takes
the
us
same
6
one
days
that
to do
I
the drift.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same one. This one literally always gets a 6.
You see,
fucking
all of a sudden, the screen lights up. Very simple images. You see a dog, a cat, a beaver, an elephant, a bear, a horse, a dog. The flaps open up and you see a little cage on a crane. And inside you see a little, what looks like...
Chihuahua?
no, not a Chihuahua. I'm blanking on the name.
Yorkshire
They're named after Boston.
Oh, Boston Terrier.
Boston Terrier.
Boston Terrier. Little Boston, Terrier.
Terriers.
A cage far
They're
too
so
big
ugly and cute.
for the creature itself. Kind of barks out, and you can see it kind of rattles. The cage swings. The cage drifts along the track. You would imagine it will probably open at the start of the next round. That is the beginning of the round. Shade, you are leading us off, followed by Gibbs. Shade, what do you want to do? Oh,
Mini?
sorry.
I know you probably do.
It's probably a big
and it's
monster
probably
thing.
super cool.
Probably like a big
No, she's probably in a
tree.
human form.
Important to note.
First.
So actually,
So here are 3 different Jades.
Right.
Yeah.
You're currently facing this one. It's gonna be a big
I
fucking
want to
tree
give you the
monster.
opportunity instead of using my little tilly tiles.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a stand-in for now,
Oh, I mean,
and then she's probably gonna change.
right.
This is gonna be her for right now. If you could just put her right in the middle there.
Yeah, absolutely. Little sassy, sexy little thing.
Alrighty, so. And one thing that you will notice is you can see a little bit of the map on the screen, but because we are using video cameras, it's hard to see a lot of the detail. If you want to see more, on Instagram, @AlberonRPG. You can see it there probably tomorrow. So, for all of you kind of stepping in here, Shade, you are unseen as far as you can tell. There's this interaction that happens between Jade and Bubbs. They kind of freeze as everybody else kind of slow motion begins to move around them. But at the beginning of your round, you see this dog beginning to move towards this vat and the flower open. What do you want to do?
From the vent, I can just go forward, and there's like another vent, like here that
5
opens
feet
up,
to the other side, but yeah.
like here.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna like get up to the vent.
Mm-hmm.
She's still in human form at the moment.
As you look at her, it's
Or
it's relatively
elf
humanoid,
form.
but you do notice like the skin, elements of bark, and already as the eyes begin to harden again, it's like the bark is growing along with it. She's changing as you speak.
All right. I'm gonna try and entangle her by firing the net gun at her.
Absolutely.
So let me go ahead and do that thing.
So already loaded, as you preloaded the net gun, you pull it up from your kind of squatting position.
It's probably not gonna hit. That's a 13.
The vent is narrow, and so narrow, your arm's not really able to rise up all the way, and so where you intend to aim, quite low. The net explodes out of the gun and scrapes along the ground, wrapping around the bottom of one of the vats, but not really hitting anything.
All right. I think that's my move action. That's my action, right?
Alrighty, Gibbs, you are up, and then it is Jade's turn. Bubbs, you are after that. Gibbs, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna go through the disinfecting thing.
Okay.
And just sort of stand, positioning myself protectively, kind of noticing that Bubbs has sort of glazed over a little. And I'm just gonna shout to Jade, "We got through! We didn't hurt any plants! We're here!" And I'm gonna hold my action to see if she is gonna attack us, because
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned, like, she said a bunch of gibberish at the top, and like, hasn't actually done anything aggressive besides this dog thing.
Sure.
So I'm gonna hold my turn.
Okay, no problem. On Jade's turn, you can see the eyes already begin to harden, but they dart up at you, Gibbs. What is it that you said? You said?
We got through your maze. We didn't hurt any plants. We're here. Ta-da!
The eyes lock on Bubbs, and you can see she turns her head and almost has to pry them away. And she says, "And you will reap your reward.
Ooh, yay!
Observe.
Great.
Evolution."
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
She moves her hands, and the vines underneath kind of begin to move, and the plant closes. You can see the petals begin to bulge and shift and move. And now I'll go get my miniature.
Okay.
Here, wait. Put it in my hand. And I'll-
Yeah, wait, so we can do the unravel.
What?
Put it in my hand. Oh, it's too big.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, moved everything around a little bit quick.
Wow! Horrifying.
As the petals open, you can see, like, kneeling down and having to stand because otherwise it would not fit, this massive tree creature with these alien-looking leaves coming off in these plateau-like bunches over its head, almost like crowns. You can see the talons of this creature dripping with the sap-like venom. And as it hits the ground, kind of corrodes. And as it touches the plants, it seems to just slide off like water. She is going to, seeing you, Gibbs,
Yep,
now in
that's the
full
point.
tree form, she holds one arm out and curls a hand in. You hear the wood. And she says, "Approach. I need you to go ahead and make a will save."
Ooh, good thing I'm great at that shit. I got a plus 12, just FYI.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
That's
will
good.
saves?
I rolled a 3, but so it's 15.
Still 15? Wow.
But yeah, it's wisdom's my spellcasting modifier.
It is a 15.
Yeah. But almost all of that is organic will, like just my essence.
And so as you stand there looking up, she hasn't harmed you before. And as she says, "Approach," and curls this finger, you think to yourself, there's no reason not to.
Oh, but don't.
You look up at this tree, this natural thing. It's dirty. You see dirt kind of caked around the roots and the bark. You approach. This is a creature that might be friendly to you. Gibbs, on your next turn, you need to move towards them as quickly and as possibly for the next round. You can take no other actions, and you trigger reactions as normal.
Okay.
So, just keep that in mind for your next turn.
If it triggers reactions, what happens if they're flat-footed? Can they not take those
No,
reactions?
so it's
She triggers reactions like normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they were flat-footed and she moved around, there wouldn't be reactions triggered, but that's due to the flat-footed, not due to that.
Okay.
She is going to take 20 feet of movement backwards, stepping off the plant. You still see from the torso up above this massive vat and this flower, although the flower does begin to spread open again. That is going to be all that she is going to do for her turn. That is going to bring us to Bubbs. Bubbs. As the ringing in your ears subsides, you no longer see Jade Brunaei. You see this massive creature, but that memory of what just happened clings to you. What do you want to do?
Right now, I'm just repeating the words.
Eve Haven. New life. Changes. Who was that?
And then I'm gonna kind of like shake my head and try to like focus too. And I'm going to see my companion Gibbs. And I'm thinking, oh no, this might be some dangerous situation. So I'm just gonna walk up there ready to defend.
Okay. So go ahead and put yourself where you want to. You're going up next to Gibbs?
Probably right here.
Okay.
You still have the rope between us?
Yeah, I think you still have a rope.
I still have a rope between Bubbs and I.
Okay, so both of you still tethered together. Now standing.
Together.
Essentially.
You're holding it. I've gotten around my tail, so I don't have to hold
I have
it.
a hold in my hand.
Yeah. So now, sort of attached, you stand only 5 feet apart, looking at this creature as it looms over the vat. Anything else on your turn?
I'm just gonna keep saying,
How do I know? How do I know that face?
and that's my turn.
Sure. But Gibbs, for what it's worth, you hear this as Bub steps by you. Spice. At the bottom of the round, you now at the end of the hallway, you see all of this happen before you. What do you want to do?
So for reaction, she's gonna say, Bubbs, is that your mom? But seeing as no one's, really initiated anything except for the net,
Which like didn't even go
didn't
anywhere.
even do anything. I'm also just going to move up, I suppose. I'm gonna move up. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna move up next to Bubbs because I noticed that Jade's got her eye on Bubbs, and I'm like, is this like a mother-son thing going on
Oh, I
here?
thought you were gonna like fight for your man.
Oh yeah, she's gonna do that. Don't you worry. But she's like, I can't tell if this is like a family thing. Like I'm gonna give it another
mom for the
second
first
before I
time.
He's not
attack.
really familiar with what's happening. You
Yeah.
get closer, but you don't act. No problem. That brings us to the top of the round. You see the cage open. This Boston Terrier yips once and falls. The plant closes over top.
Oh, so it's over in the middle. Yeah.
Can somebody roll a 20-sided dice for me, please?
Yeah, why not?
One!
Really?
Natural one!
Very nice.
It's
Okay.
an
On the
even
can.
smaller dog.
It dies instantly on impact.
Yeah, the genetics were too much for the small body.
The big petals close over, and you just hear and just silence. We'll get
That's so
back.
sad.
That brings us to the top of the round. Shade, you are up, followed by Gibbs. You have ceased holding your action, and then Jade will follow that. Shade.
All right. I'm going to use my move action to activate my mobility feat with my
Okay.
versatile focus
There
or
you
my
go.
versatile feat, whatever the fuck. I don't know. I got that feat that lets you get feats.
Yeah. So you activate a program deep within your wiring and
Adaptive
your
fighting, that's the one
subroutines,
that is.
and you
feet.
you accelerate.
And then I'm gonna seeing that this thing just dropped in to the thing that just made her a plant monster.
Yeah.
I want to scan for any sort of like system with which I could like deactivate this this dog box thing.
Okay. So
Or
if
like
you want
any sort of computer system within the area that I could try to get to.
Okay, yeah, make a perception check.
Ooh, 26.
26. So, the 26, you see a number of things.
Oh yeah. Take a shot.
From that doorway, you can see up the staircase, there is like a half wall, a number of doors beyond. But one of the things that you do see over on the far side from where you are, there is a label for that room right there that says control room.
Okay.
And underneath that, although actually, you know what? You wouldn't be able to read it. It's in Sharon. However, you do see a little icon of two gears kind of together, and part of you thinks that is machinery related.
Okay.
Aside from that, there is underneath this place, although you cannot see it right now, on the side over here, there's all kinds of laboratory equipment. There's computers, there's things like that.
Okay.
There's plenty of stations.
Okay. I think that's it because I used my move action to activate my thing, so
Alrighty.
I can't move yet. But I'm going to move next turn.
There you go. Shade, that is your turn. Gibbs, what would you like to do?
I only have one option really, but Bubbles, how much rope do you think is between us? If you were to give it a distance.
I probably just, oh, you can just.
No, but like how much rope do you think is between us?
Here is just Bubbles going, Bubbles.
Well, it's not a question I'm asking you. I'm asking you, Dan.
Oh, okay.
How much rope do you think would be between us?
Um,
Because if I decide, then that determines my movement. But like, if you decide, then you get to decide how much I'm moving.
so you're asking me how much rope is between us at the moment, or how much
Yes.
can it go?
How far
much-
can it go? How
where-
far can
where
I
are you
move away
holding-
from you?
Where are you
Yeah.
holding the rope?
You have to decide,
At
because
what-
otherwise it's...
At
Okay,
what
I would
distance?
probably say probably about 2, maybe 3, 2, probably 2.
Okay, so 10 feet.
Yeah.
There we go. So that's... I will dash against it, right? Like,
Okay.
that's my movement.
Yeah,
to-
sure.
To move against it, but you're tethering me to the other end.
Oh, I probably will release a little slack.
Okay, great. So not really understanding. It's like, oh, Gibbs is trying to move. And you, I mean, for what it's worth,
I'm
not
you
paying
don't
attention.
know.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you're not
Yeah,
paying
I'm
attention.
I'm
you don't
still
know.
a little bit.
So you just give some more slack, and Gibbs, you just keep approaching. You see this tree, you see the bent finger, you see this big smile, and then there are like these wicked looking like hooded eyes. They look evil. Something about it is just really inviting right now. You get closer.
Then I go that far because I have to go around the big plant, right? 'Cause
Correct, yeah.
can't-
It would be tough to climb over
Okay.
it.
Then I go around, and that's my turn, right? I
There
can't
you
make
go.
an action.
Yeah,
I can't-
yeah. No problem.
Can I shake it off?
So you don't have to. At the end of this round,
Okay.
suddenly there is this, and you turn. You see this massive plant, and you see something like growing within it. You turn back, and you see this horrific-looking evil tree creature. This trance is snapped. You don't know what came over you, but you're in a dangerous place. You kind of wish Bubbs had held that rope a
Yeah,
little
okay,
tighter.
but that's fine.
That is your turn, Gibbs. That brings
Fair.
us to Jade.
Well, I asked you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jade is going to. You are right there, Gibbs.
I am. So tempting. So tasty.
So is the puppy
But what?
in the plant puppy.
And just remember how gross I am.
She is going to move 40 feet, or her full regular movement, nope, other direction, towards Bubbs. Bubbles, this tree creature.
Does she go around the...
Yeah, she's going to go around it. She has to bend underneath the overhang, and you can feel this. As she steps over near that vat, where you can see, kind of facing Spice and you, these dozens of small little seed pods and flowers. She looms over this vat, the vat like 10 feet tall. She could rest her elbow here easily if she wanted to. But she looks down at you and she says, "You're perfect for what I need. You have the mutagen already. Come, Bubbles." And she hooks her finger towards you. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm just gonna whisper,
mutagen.
A 10 plus, what'd you say, a will?
That is Will. Sorry, yeah.
Up 16 again then.
16.
Second 16 in a row.
Your next round, you need to spend getting as close to her as you can. Same thing that happened
Okay.
to
But we're at the
Gibbs.
end of our rope. So Gibbs and you and I are taut.
As you mumble about the mutagen, she smiles and nods. Yes, yes, Operation Second Flood. Come, Bubbles. And she gestures you onwards. But that is your turn. Sorry, that is her turn. That brings us to you, Bubbles.
Bubbles.
I'm gonna first off just whisper.
Operation Second Flood.
And I'm gonna move as close to her as I have to.
Can I dig in now, being unparalyzed and having had no action? Can I
So,
dig in?
you certainly can. A
Alright.
couple things are going to happen all at once. Given the amount of slack that you have, if you're digging in, Bubs, you can't immediately get closer. You just kind of move in like a curve. That does bring you about 5 feet closer.
Well, that would be in the vat, so we'd have to go through.
Right, like
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Right on the edge of the vat. So you're almost like right there. Spice kind of almost instinctively, you like step in front trying to block him. But this tree reaches down and using their held action, they're just going to lift you off the ground gently, very gingerly. The tree wraps around you and lifts you. You feel your feet leave the ground. She turns. Bubbles. You were a failure before, but you can succeed now. Just like Miles. Well, not just like. She turns, and you can see she does mean to bring you over to this flower. But that is her held action. Bubs, you can only move closer, so that is your turn.
So Bubs is... Oh, wait.
Bubs is there. Gibbs is coming along too, so I'll get 5 feet.
But
closer.
she just picked him up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually,
So what
interesting
happens?
point. Make a... Make a fortitude
Oh
saving
yeah,
throw.
okay, but fuck, toughness doesn't apply to this. That's the
No,
thing.
it doesn't.
Damn.
It gives me the +4 that
Love to see it.
So she reaches down, and as she picks you up, Gibbs, your tail, great, your tail wraps around one of these exposed pipes. Your hand grabs onto it, and your other hand scratches into the metal. There is this slight screeching sound, and you can see Jade's smile just kind of falters. Bubs, you almost want to go up in this hand. You want to get closer, and then this rope goes taut.
I'm still just doing that thing where I'm just muttering words.
Sure.
I mutter,
Failure. Miles.
That is going to
Miles.
end her turn. She's unable to pull. That's great. That's a great roll. by the way.
yeah.
yeah, that was great.
That was
So,
I thought it was strength, and I'm shooting
good.
that.
Spice, that brings us to you.
So like, Spice can like hear Bubbles, like muttering, and she like touches him before he gets picked up. She's like, Bubs, what are you saying? And she like starts to panic a little bit. And she looks up at the tree, sees it reaching down, and as the tree goes to pick up Bubs, she's going to latch on. She's gonna like hold on to Bubs around his waist.
So with Gibbs wrapped around and Spice also like wrapped around the other arm.
Because she's like, this is not a cute like mother-son moment. This
Certainly
is like
not.
not good.
And for a brief moment, there is this almost tug of war with the two of you pulling Bubs by the arms and Jade grabbing Bubs around the waist with these long tree-like fingers. But Bubs, for the moment, you are not moving anywhere. You are perfectly kind of balanced between the two.
Can that be my movement? Is to hold?
It says manipulate an item, but I'm going to say that's a little bit more like fighting defensively. That's
Okay.
probably your standard action.
Well, that's that. I can't cast any spells. In that case, that's it.
Alrighty. That brings us to initiative order 1.
Oh, the puppy.
This plant opens up. Give me 1 second.
Oh, motherfucking plant, man.
And then Matt, can you roll a d6 for me?
Yeah, sure.
Wait,
Not the.
not
that's
the
a good
bad one.
D6.
Well, if it's maybe it's good that it's a 6.
I think it's good if it's a 1.
I mean, the
As
puppy.
the plant opens, you hear this little and bursting forth is this little tiny
good.
plant-like creature. You can see roughly the same size. Whoops.
As
Roughly the same
as
size as that
terrier.
Boston Terrier. You can see it just kind of bursts out. You see this really evil-looking smile, and Gibbs, it looks right at you, you being the closest. On its turn, it moves. It moves in this very penguin-like way. The legs are very wooden and not very good. So it kind of hobbles over to you, slides down the vine, and it's going to slash at you with its tiny little talons. That's a natural 20.
Fuck.
I take it to the fucking face because I'm holding my hands in a rope. So I have
You
nothing
take
to
1
defend
point of
myself.
damage. As it
Nice.
this thing for you is very small. It gets right up to about your waist height and just slashes at you. It is like the worst paper cut you've ever received. It hurts, but not very badly.
Nice.
You hear from this little plant creature, and it continues to try to slice at you. However, that is it. What was your d6 roll?
3.
You look over at the screen, up where those rubber flaps hang. You see a dog, a beaver, a cat, and then suddenly, a bear.
Fuck, I knew it!
Suddenly, the flaps aside, and from within you can hear, and this brown bear in a very large cage out and begins to move. And you would imagine probably... right as it gets over top, it is going to at some point open. Can somebody please roll a d20 for me?
Here, I got it. What's that say?
5.
5.
Ooh, okay, not bad. This cage swings open, and you can see the bear. And as it hits the plant hard, you almost feel like the plant will split, but these petals close around it. And you feel and hear the struggling. You, Gibbs, especially. You see these bears like scared eyes disappear as the petals close. However, that is the top of the initiative, and that brings us to Shade. Gibbs, you are on deck.
Yeah.
So the bear is already over here.
The bear is all this happening at the same time. The bear is falling in the air towards this plant. Do you want the bear? I can put the bear on the field if you would like.
Well, I want to see if I can reach the bear because I want to try and use my overload to disengage the electronics.
What's the range on overload?
I have to be adjacent to it until next level.
So you, using your jump jets,
Yeah.
could jump to the ceiling, which is about 20 feet up.
I was gonna jump
you-
to the cage and
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
overload.
Nice.
Yeah, great. So what does overload do? Do you need to make a roll for it?
No. As a standard action, I can cause a short and electronic device, which makes the device non-functional for 1 round.
Fantastic. Shade, you kick off with your jump jets.
For the record,
Yes.
it does not cause a locked door, safe, or other device to open, but it prevents anyone from opening it for 1 round.
It is not locked. And so all that you are doing is overloading the holding mechanism, so it will open.
Okay.
As you jump up, the rockets propelling you. You grab onto the edge of this cage. You can see right before it's released, the bear kind of backing away from you, a little afraid, almost seeming to know where it's going. And it, as it pulls away, your hand closes. There is that of electricity, and the bottom just swings open. The bear, about 10 feet before it gets over the flower, falls. Let me grab the bear. There's
You're
no
like
brown bear.
regular bear better than
Mutant
genetically
flower,
modified
yeah.
bear.
Like, at least it's mutant flower takes a turn, you know?
Does it get any damage?
Yes, it certainly does. It falls 20 feet.
So it's like
I hope
pretty
it
much
gets
like
as much damage as I did when I
here.
fell from the ceiling
You
with a
fell
laser
40
tag.
You fell far.
so I'm still up on the cage, right? Is that my whole movement to get up there?
You're
'Cause I
like
was
hanging onto the cage.
Yeah.
If you want to make a athletics check to try to hang on, for the rest of the round, you can.
Yeah, I think so. Because why not?
There you
Like,
go.
I think I'll just stay up there because I'm trying to move past.
I mean, you can
her.
have it.
No, I was
I
checking
have my
to see if you needed
mobility
more.
feat,
No, thank you,
so
So you kind of
because I can't move more, right?
That is your movement action, 20 feet up, and you can't break up your movement. So yeah, you can drop down if you want.
I'll stay up there for now.
So you
There's
hang
a bear
on.
the ground.
The bear hits the ground hard. You see it almost seems to like the air comes out of the bear. It scrambles up a little bit. It's still prone. It's alive, but it's hurt. That did a lot of damage.
The bear.
That is your turn, Shade. That brings us to Gibbs. Gibbs, from your standpoint, you get slashed by this little creature. Then you hear the sound of the doors open, and looking up, you see a bear begin to move from where this creature went to. You put 2 and 2 together, and you realize if it reaches that plant, that's bad news.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Shade grabs onto it, and the bear falls out of your sight behind the plant. What do you want to do?
My biggest concern right now is the safety of Bubbs, who is non-functional as far as I'm concerned. So I will use sort of the momentum of the taut rope between us, knowing that he's tethered with Spice, seeing that interaction.
Okay.
And I'm gonna slingshot myself and climb up over Bubbs, like backpacking, like using all my movement to get up and on top of him. And I'm gonna stand on his shoulders and throw the grenade I got, because why the fuck not, to the lady, and try to like climb up the hand she's holding to get the grenade into the
level
mouth
8 grenade.
Okay.
She didn't listen to my bullshit, and I had bullshit to say. And now she's hurting my friend Bubbs, and I don't have a solution
She gets a
for
fucking
that.
grenade in the mouth.
So I'm gonna throw the grenade you gave me into the mouth.
So are you throwing the grenade, or are you climbing on top and placing it in the mouth? Because those are different rolls.
That's true.
Oof.
And different
Efficiency
effects.
is tough.
What are the choices?
I have grenade
Placing it in the mouth
proficiency.
versus-
I will do it ranged.
Okay, so from where you are, you yank the grenade out of your vest. You look over. Spice is straining. You're straining. Bubbs is just like slack in the middle of this tug of war, and you lob this grenade. Make a ranged attack throw.
And I'll take an attack of opportunity from the gremlin guy.
Oh, because you're throwing it. No, because you're moving away
Well,
from it.
I'm gonna move just to get a little closer, because I don't got a strong arm, and this grenade seems heavy.
As you dart away, he slashes out at you and misses pretty
8.
badly. And
Plus
8.
anything?
No, that's plus everything. I'm not good at this shit.
You throw this grenade
It still goes
over,
up.
and it hits the ceiling right when it begins to get a little bit lower. The overhang, ding, kind of clangs off, and you see it spirals end over end into one of the other vats. You hear this little splash, and then deep within this, there is no explosion. The liquid deadening the effect of this level 8 item.
Damn.
Should have given it to somebody else. Fuck! Give that. Sorry, I don't mean to be mean at you. I'm sorry. I'm bad.
No worries. That is.
It was a
Gibbs-
great idea.
It was an awesome
though.
idea.
Yeah.
Gibbs
I am
didn't tell
now-
you this. That was a defoliant grenade.
So it would have
know what that
defoliated
means.
her.
It is a grenade designed to destroy plant matter.
Literally would have just
Well, that's
fucked her face.
Wherever the vat is. I guess it's that vat. That's fucked.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna like clamber onto Bubbs and really like be along for the ride of Bubbs. Bubbs and I are gonna share a space, and like I am attached to Bubbs and present for that ride.
Through your stupor, Bubbs, you're vaguely aware of the tail around your ankle. You are well grasped by a multitude of creatures at the moment. And just 10 feet away, on the ground, a bear lands in front of you. Things are pretty confusing for you at the moment. But, Gibbs, that is your turn?
Fine. If it has to be, then it is. Yeah.
Valiant effort.
Oh,
Valiant
it's on the
effort.
level 8 grenade.
Only someone had like wheeled.
We needed a wheel.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
Nort, where's your wheel?
Nort!
It's too late. It's too late now.
Yeah, I know. But fuck him.
it is Jade's turn. And for her turn, you can see the eyes follow the grenade as it goes right past her head, dink, and then kind of bounces into one of the vats.
Ooh, good thing that didn't hit me.
You can see the eyes narrow, and she turns and looks at you. She is going to reach into your mind, and you can hear in your thoughts, "Did you throw that at me?"
Yeah, you weren't listening to my spiel.
She is going to go ahead and make a will saving throw, please.
Gladly. Fucking gladly. 13 plus 12 is 25.
25.
Nice.
Okay.
You love
that's
to
great.
see it.
It's my will. It's will save. It's the thing I'm
For
good at.
a moment, all of your joints seem to lock up. You feel this spike of pain in your body, but you grit your teeth and you pull through it. You feel at the edges of your mind this fatigue begin to set in, but you push through it, no problem. You manage to get through a very high-level spell.
Nice.
Well done. That is going to be her turn, unfortunately. You see the eyes narrow. The whole body now shifts and turns towards you. She lets go of Bubbs. Bubbs, you kind of drop to your feet. Both hands come back a little bit, and you can see she's definitely ready to strike you. You're going to be a problem. The entire entity of her shifts. That is her turn. That brings us over to Bubbs. Bubbs, you fall on your feet. Spice on one side, kind of grabbing onto one arm. Gibbs wrapped around your leg. What do you want to do?
It's kind of like that anime pose where you're like kind of like on your knees and like the hero's protagonist's head is down and he's just like muttering to himself.
Miles. You said he wasn't a failure like me. Is he still alive? I remember he was with me those times. You have to tell me.
And I'm gonna get up and I'm going to just move towards the tree person.
Okay, no problem. You begin talking and gritting your teeth. You can see she is preoccupied with Gibbs, but the eyes shift down.
You have 15 feet of movement, is what we've determined. Because
Okay.
it was 10 plus 5 if you let go.
Yeah, and so your
From
rope
me.
suddenly just kind of goes
And I'm
taut.
gonna kind of like do like a you have to tell me kind of grapple, just grab.
Grab the
leg.
leg.
Yeah.
The tree leg.
You grab onto the leg. There, are you trying to actually grapple her?
It's a little bit of like just like a you have to tell me.
Okay,
Kinda,
okay. So
Shake
you
her
grab
down.
on.
Yeah.
No problem. You grab on. That is your turn?
Yeah.
Great. That brings us to you, Spice.
I was going to cast a spell, but now after that, Spice is like, are we back to the mother son?
No! Spell!
So I guess what I'm gonna do. I don't want to daze, because what if she has to speak? Well, I'm gonna cast daze. Okay.
Do it.
So
It's a save,
you have
right?
to make a will saving throw, which I'm a little bit nervous about.
You shouldn't be. Will save?
Yep.
That is going to be... Should I get anything for will?
Weak will.
Oh, yeah, okay, plus 9.
Plus 9.
12.
Nope. You are dazed.
Go!
All right.
That's
you just
big.
put that on there for
You are
dazed.
unable to take actions
That's
for a
big.
round.
So how do you cast daze? What does it look like?
So she watches Bubbs voluntarily walk away, and she's like, I don't trust this. And then she claps her hands together in front of her forehead, and she like opens her eyes and like shoots a piercing gaze at Jade, and that is the daze.
For a moment, she kind of almost draws back a little bit. You can hear the wood shift and creak, and she shakes her head a little uncertain. But that is your turn, Spice?
And then she's also, as my move action, I'm gonna move up. Not in between the two of them, but I'm
Okay.
gonna stay up next to Bubbs.
Okay, so you stay next to Bubbs.
I didn't get the reaction from the Twiggy guy, by the way.
He missed.
Okay.
I did roll for it. He rolled a 4. So
Nice.
this would be bringing us to this bear. So
Oh, yeah,
the bear
bear.
on the ground climbs to its feet. You hear this long, and it's confused and frightened.
This is you.
There's a vat in between
Yeah.
Give me a second.
you. I'm up
here.
on the cage
Yeah,
still.
so you're on the die.
Yeah.
Okay, so this bear is going to take a full action, just dash and run into and underneath, into there. So you see it just kind of galloping
No
through.
longer a problem.
It slams into a cart, and the cart like spills over. You see these heavy cables sag, but it just disappears off, and you hear this kind of and like some glass shatter. This is just a panicked animal just careening around now. But
It's not mutated.
Bear!
but
Just so we can all agree.
Yes.
This brings us to the little plant creature.
Oh, yeah.
Gibbs,
Also
you hear
showing
behind you.
baby.
It runs and leaps. There's like a slow motion dive. It's like in the air. It is going to slash at you with
Just
its
like a
claws. That is a
fucking
22 to
gremlin.
hit.
Oh, that'll hit either
Nice.
case.
You take 1 point of slashing damage.
Great.
It is like a slow motion dive and then like a samurai landing on the other side of you. And then there's just this little tiny that opens up on your arm, barely a cut. But it's not a terribly useful creature on its own. That brings us to the top of the round. Matt, can you roll a d6 for me, please?
Of course I can roll a d6 for you.
6, 6, 6.
4.
Fuck.
4.
Cat, bear.
Okay.
No.
You see a
didn't
cat.
like that.
You see no. You're okay.
Oh, okay.
You see a cat. You see a bear. You see all these little animals go by, and then a little beaver. A tiny little cage comes out, the smallest that you've seen so far, even smaller than the one that held the dog. And you see like the big flappy tail hanging between the bars.
Is the cage that I'm on still stuck?
It certainly is.
Okay, so it's going to crash into mine?
We'll find out.
Okay.
So, as you hang there, kind of watching, you see the little cage get closer and closer. You see the beaver, not scared, not really smart enough to understand what's happening. It's just kind of sitting there. There's a moment where it turns, looking over its back at you, and then clang, it just kind of collides. It stays there. You see it just kind of begin to like move around the cage a little bit.
Okay, cool.
That's it for the moment.
That's a shit pet. A fucking beaver. Only thing
1
better
second.
could be a platypus. That's a duck. And
Already, that
Maybe it'll
brings
get
us
genetically
Shade.
modified.
As you see this beaver turn and look at you, it is your turn. Gibbs, you are on deck. What would you like to do, Shade?
So, overload ends after the round.
Correct.
So it ends now. Does that mean that now the cart or the cage is starting to move again?
Correct. So
Okay.
at this point, then if that's what happens, almost immediately at the start of your turn, the door is kind
Basically,
of
like
shut.
the other cage hits and then it starts to kind
Basically,
of move
yeah.
with it.
So it like swings, and you could see the door is already open and just continues and moves along the track. The little beaver kind of moves over.
Getting rid of the beaver.
Okay.
Overload on that one.
Sure. You press this, and you see the cage door open up. Down.
I don't want any of these fucking things to land in the plant, so I'm just gonna get them to fall.
You watch as the beaver falls 20 feet to its death. It slams onto the ground. That's a
Sorry,
long
no
fall
pet.
for the beaver.
No pet beaver. And then I'm gonna use my move action to jump jets 30 feet to, like, I guess right onto the ledge here.
Okay.
I'm going for the control room.
Okay, sure. You look over and you can see with that door, this is the only door as you look down the hallway that has doorknobs. This is like an older kind of room. The doors are currently shut, so you cannot see into it at the moment.
Okay.
But that is your turn, Shade. That brings us to Gibbs. Gibbs, from where you are, this tiny little plant creature slashes into you, and then maybe 15 feet away, this little beaver squishes onto the ground in front of you.
I just see the little like webbed feet, and I
Could we say that it was like over the vat, and so it only fell like 5 feet, and it landed safely on the top of the vat?
Roll a d20. Roll a reflex save for this beaver.
I feel bad.
Are you
like,
trying to save it?
I feel bad killing these beavers, you know?
If we save it, we can
8.
have it.
An 8?
We already have a bear now.
Absolutely not. You see,
You can only
it
bring
strikes
one
the
pet?
edge of the vat and kind of clang.
I don't want them to get genetically modified, but I don't want it to die. I feel
It's
bad.
genetically modified from living to dead now. So it is dead on the floor. Good try. Gibbs.
I'm gonna cast a spell. Kind of staying where I am, both because there's this like annoying thing, and also because Bubbs is moving, and right now we're taut as long as I stay where I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Mind Thrust at the 2nd level, so I need a will saving throw from Jade Brunaei.
Okay, Jade Brunaei. That was a will save?
Yes, please.
20.
Okay, that beats my spell DC, so you get half damage essentially.
Excellent.
You take a whole 3 damage.
Oh, no, she's
Damn.
looking pretty rough.
Because it was a 1 and a 2 on my D10.
You know, it's all right.
And
She's
I
I
bleeding.
still think Mind Thrust is a dope spell.
It is.
She's
I
bleeding.
really like
Nine
She's
it.
times
bleeding.
out of 10, dope spell. Right now, not a dope spell. And I'm gonna kind of hook a claw into this tank, kind of scrambling on the glass, trying to keep Bubbs from like I've seen train wrecks of people before, and he's like in that mode of like, I'm gonna self-destruct because I can and I don't know what to do, and so the only option is to be awful and horrible. So I'm seeing that sort of emotion on his face. I'm gonna just kind of dig in, trying to mind thrust, but very distracted by whatever the fuck Bubbs is doing.
Sure.
But comforted by the fact that Spice is there, and then I got this other guy here, so like I'm distracted.
Still like tugging at your clothing, like trying to get your attention, more mad that you're not paying attention to it than anything.
Picturing it like just nodding on.
Biscuit.
I used to have a
And I'm gonna
Boston
give it a
Terrier.
nickname, and its nickname's now
She was
that's
15.
Biscuit, guys.
Okay, free action. It is now named Biscuit.
Yeah.
That is your turn, Gibbs. That brings us over here to the beaver. The beaver's dead, so I'm gonna take it off initiative order.
Rip.
That brings us to Jade. Jade is dazed.
Yes.
And so being dazed, she can take no actions. However, I believe. Ooh. Yeah, let's do that.
No, don't do that.
No. Don't do that.
You can see she looks a little bit confused. She's going to kind of shake her head and then look over towards the doorway where you see that bear disappear off to. Suddenly, the sound of glass shattering stops.
Did she kill the bear?
With her mind?
Oh, yeah, she got his mind thrust too.
That brings
But
us
that's
to
an action, right?
Bubbs' turn. Bubbs, what would you like to do?
Seeing I was just like demanding information about how my brother is still alive and how she has this information. I'm gonna just be angry because she didn't answer me. I'm real pissed.
She's a little dazed, otherwise she would have.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm gonna do in anger is I'm gonna punch this vial like super hard next to me,
Okay.
Punch the use the vat.
Tank.
the tank, and just
Yeah.
destroy it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Okay.
And I'm gonna scream, "I said, tell me!"
There's a grenade in there somewhere.
A 7 plus.
I think the grenade already went off.
Yeah,
Bro.
you heard it go off.
But maybe the tank is weaker. I don't know. Fuck me.
Like some
It was a good
struggle.
idea.
Yeah.
7 plus. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Plus. Where's my attack roll? Sorry. Plus 9.
So
It's a regular attack, not a
Great.
full attack.
You hit the tank. Roll damage.
it'd be weird if you missed hitting the tank.
Glass can be tough, man. It could be like safety plexiglass.
It's also
also
like hitting. It's hitting and having an effect.
Yeah.
5 plus 12. 16.
Damn.
Jesus.
Bubbs, you are ignored in your
Oh,
mind.
17, yeah.
And so you let that rage build up. You slam your fist into this tank, and there is this resounding clang, 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 clang that echoes in this space. Gibbs, at your side, this little creature just goes, kind of like going away from this loud noise. From off in the distance of this room, you hear even the bear kind of,
Oh, so it's
Oh, he's
alive.
fine.
it is certainly alive.
Oh, good.
Probably just
That is
transformed.
loud, and you can see elements of those pods that are kind of all oriented in the direction of Gibbs begin to burst. Gibbs, if you can make a reflex saving throw, please.
Did I do any damage to the viral at all?
Yeah, that vat
Yeah.
is, there's a huge dented portion, maybe like 2 feet deep, the middle part of it rent open, and you can see there is this like sloshing orange fluid.
Nice.
10.
10. Okay. Gibbs, as jagged seed pods shoot out, you're going to take 7 points of piercing damage as elements of them embed in your skin. It's almost like a fragmentation grenade, but biological.
That's fine.
Burrs. Those
Does the widget guy also take it? Does
You
Biscuit?
see all of these things go in, almost absorbed like plant matter.
Biscuit.
It's plant immunities, man.
Biscuit, though.
Yeah, I know. He's getting hit by his own shit.
Anything else,
It's
Bubbs?
I think that's it.
Alrighty, that brings us to you, Spice. You see Bubbs punch this vat, this explosion of seed pods. What do you want to do?
You know, for a literal round, she's like, what the fuck is their relationship? So she's gonna, like, it's like getting to her. So she's like, Bubby! Bubs, snap out of it! And then she'll reach out with her mind to Jade and be like, did you raise him? And then she'll also reach out to you and be like, is this your mom? Like, who are you guys? And I'm gonna hold.
Okay.
Mummy?
Okay. I'm just checking to see if she could do anything with that. Yeah, she can, huh? In that moment, as you reach out and touch her mind, she utilizes her ability of mind link. And for a brief second,
so Spice is
there's
like,
a flood of information.
That's what I use all the time.
Yeah.
You-
So Spice like
Mind link.
submits to this mind link.
10 minutes of information. It's like,
In your
Condensed
brain
into
floods
6
across
seconds.
Jade, not a mother to Bubbs, but there is an element of protectiveness. You see Bubbs as a little kid. Although actually, interestingly enough, when you were younger, you did have hair, correct?
Yeah.
And so you see Bubbs, full head of hair, little kid, still looks a little bit like skittish and probably germ avoidant even then. But you see for brief moments these flashes, Bubbs playing in a room with 5 other children. You can see, make a perception check in this moment of overwhelming information flood.
Give me something good.
11.
Unnatural 20.
A natural 20.
Yes.
There is so much information that it gets lost, but what you do recognize is, no, this is not Bub's mother, but there is an element of maternal feeling that she has towards him. She's confused. There's pain in her heart at seeing Bubs, but there's also recognition of opportunity. You notice, though, before any of that, what hits your mind most is the fact that in all of these memories, when you see her reflection, when you see her in video screens, there is this pin, SRG-002. That stands for Special Research Group. Those are covert ops units that are attached to GPF task forces. You've never heard of 002, and in fact, these aren't really supposed to exist. These are absolutely black ops units, and this is something that draws your attention immediately. You've heard of covert operations that study things that would be dangerous to do in the public eye. Perhaps something of that nature. But you, in a minute, learn all of that. The people that you see around Bubbs, you see 2 little girls, one blonde, very pale skin, the other red-headed, dark, almost like an olive shade skin. You can see next to Bubbs in many of these images a very familiar or very similar looking individual. You would imagine maybe a brother to Bubbs. And then you also see, always in the back, always further away from the rest of everybody else, this 5th child. And you only ever see them in the periphery. To you, I would say with the unnatural 20, you recognize it's almost like Jade is trying not to remember this person. Almost like even in those moments, Jade knew this was somebody that she didn't want to remember. You never see a face. But all of that floods into your mind.
But that's not Bubbs, right? Bubbs is in the memories,
Yes,
right?
Bubbs is in all these memories. Bubbs is central. Bubbs is.
Yeah.
You get the sense that
golden
Jade
child.
definitely.
Yeah.
Bubbs is a favorite of Jade.
Ah, yes.
Bubbs is the golden child.
All of that happens in an instant. That is your turn, Spice?
Well, I'm holding my action.
Okay, holding your action. That brings us to the bear. The bear is going to use its full action to take as much of a movement as it can towards Gibbs.
how much movement does it have?
It has 35 feet of movement.
So it's from like back here.
Yeah, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 it can get.
Okay. And then it's going to use its full action then to also get into base contact with you, but it cannot attack you. And as it draws closer, you see this little plant creature look to the side and then kind of like slide over, not afraid of it. You can see this weird glazed over look in the bear's eyes. It seems almost possessed. That is going to be the bear's turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Shade, can you roll a 6-sided dice for me, please?
Sure, why not? 3 again, great.
3 again.
Fucking bears.
Another bear again.
Bears on bears.
Bears on bears on
It's
bears.
fucking.
You see the icons
bear
swirl
jamboree
by. You
over
see
here.
dog. You see beaver. You see all these things, and then horse.
Oh, good.
Oh,
The flaps open up and a huge cage comes through. You can see a pale gray horse, really dark, almost dirty looking mane. It seems nervous. It whinnies a little bit. You hear like the hooves kicking at the cage.
Can you have a
little bit.
Rapidash come out? Can all these be Pokemon from now on?
Yeah, they're evolving into
Yeah.
You are no longer up there, correct?
No, I'm over here now.
So the cage opens. You can see this horse.
Wait, it opens on the same turn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then it rolls, and then when it drops,
over.
it rolls initiative and comes in on initiative.
So it takes like 2 rounds. Right?
Depend.
But it's
So
still,
far, the initiative rolls have been 1
So,
and 5, so it always comes in at the very end.
technically, because that's its round,
Yes.
for the cage, the other cage should still be stuck until my turn.
The cages are always moving on a track. When you stalled them out, it made the cage stop. That's why they collided. But they're always moving. It's almost like a conveyor belt, but it's like little hooks that pull these cages along.
Right. Okay.
But from where you are, you see the horse come out, the cage stop, swing for a moment, and then the opening just swings open. The horse falls. The horse hits the middle of this plant, which closes around it, and it begins to kick and move. And I'm going to roll initiative for the horse. Alrighty. That is going to be after Spice. These are bad initiative rolls.
Yeah, my initiative was bad.
Alrighty, that brings us to you, Shade. As the horse is gobbled up by the plant, you turn. You can see the seems like some kind of equipment room right in front of you.
I'm going to go to the door.
Yeah. So you push open the door. If you want to slide that page out of the way from Ari, I can't really see what's there. I should remember, but I don't. So you immediately kind of burst in and you turn to the left. First of all, right in front of you, there is what looks like almost, you do stage crew, so you're familiar with the Magic Genie. It's like a little, a round kind of a railing, and then like it has like little controls on it. You see a space for it to disappear along a track up. This is like a maintenance thing for the rest of this machinery. Turning to your left, you can see 2 servers, each of which has an interface on it, and it seems as if these are designed to run the mechanism that is moving all these animals.
All right.
And in fact, on one of those screens, you see a dozen or so other little animal icons, some of them grayed out now, a bear, a beaver. What do you want to do?
I want to fucking shut these shits down.
Okay,
Can I hack it?
Yeah, make a computers check. Absolutely.
shut these
So as your
shits
action, you run over, pulling off the cover to your USB finger drive.
Penis.
His dick. Whips his dick out.
And
The funny thing about my penis is it's on my finger.
Been waiting for this moment.
This is where we are.
18?
Can't wait for another android to be here.
a lady
Plug in.
android.
Lady is to do like whips her tits out or something. I don't know.
I'm really sorry if you're watching, Kara.
She gets to decide.
Anyways, with an 18, you plug into this machine with your finger.
Everybody knows it's not his
Instantly,
finger.
as you connect, there are no countermeasure systems that you can find, which is lucky. You can see that there are 3 nodes that you can access right off the bat. One of them is an emergency shutdown. Another one is marked fire, emergency release. The final one is marked controls.
Cool. I'm going to go emergency shutdown.
Okay. You move your select that node, and as you do, suddenly outside, all of you hear this, and all of that mechanism just kind of grinds to a shut. You see the cage that held the horse, like about to disappear through the flaps, and it just kind of stops halfway through.
Cool. I think that's all I can do, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's my action.
For what it's worth, as you logged in, you did notice there are very large creatures that are stored here. There are elephants. There are all manner of things. So far, you've been very fortunate. That being said, that brings us to Gibbs. Gibbs, next to you there is a bear, and this bear seems to be possessed. It is looking at you with some real anger. Behind you there is this little plant creature that continues to slash at you.
Don't hurt him. We want to bring him back to the ship.
What do you want to do?
Seeing through the predicament I am, kind of pushed up against this glass, not wanting to move forward because then that would give Bubbs some slack and I'd take some damage. But not wanting to move backwards because there's awful, horrible creatures.
Fucking bear.
I'm going to I'm trying to figure out what the conversation's going on over there. So I'm gonna kind of pump, and get out a little clump of earwax out
Okay.
of my ear. And I'm gonna kind of flatten it like pottery in my hand and cast Hurl Force Disc, making like a disc, like a plate out of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna be able to, I can attack all 3 of these awful things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do a ranged attack against Biscuits,
Okay.
which is a 10 plus 2, 10 plus 3 is 13.
That hits. That's KAC?
EAC.
Yes. Give me 1 second. I think that hits.
Okay.
I would imagine that a plant monster would have
Okay,
lower
and so this
EAC.
deals 2d6 force damage. Oh wait, sorry. This first one deals
Okay.
3d6.
Okay.
So it's 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 3 is 11 damage to Biscuits.
To Biscuits?
Yeah.
This is force damage?
Yes.
Okay. As Biscuits looms up to hit you again, he's about to slash. You turn the disc that you throw, this little earwax disc, skips off the ground and suddenly accelerates rapidly right through the creature. You see a little smoking hole, and then he just goes, ah, falls apart into nothing.
Nice. And then it ricochets off of the tank and into the bear.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Nice.
With an 8 plus 3 is 11 to hit the bear.
That's a hit. It's a bear.
Nice. And that only does 2d6, so that's 7 damage.
Doubles the bear's damage. The bear is looking kind of rough. It hits the bear. You can see it pierces through one of the haunches, exits on the other side. The bear kind of stumbles a little bit, continues to race towards you.
And I'm going to say to the bear, sorry, I'm a little hungry. I'm sorry, Muffins. And now that bear is named Muffins.
Excellent. Free action.
And I'm going to...
Why do you have to name the things that die?
Because that's how I kill them. I gotta know their name first. And then the disc is gonna skip over the vat and hit Jade.
Absolutely. Let's hope so.
Put some top spin on that.
8 again, plus 3 is
That is
11.
going to be a big miss. This time, as it
I
skips,
tried.
losing a lot of its momentum, you can see, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jade's done being dazed at the end of her last turn.
Yeah, it's the end of my last turn.
Okay, so no longer dazed. This creature reaches up and just snags the disc out of the air. You can see looks down and just shakes all the branches, and the little earwax falls away.
Can I take my turn now?
You absolutely can. You're holding it.
So Spice kind of steps back. She's like, I don't understand this family situation. Bubbs wants to get to her.
Interesting point. You held your action, right?
Yeah.
But you are almost at the end of the initiative order, so it's a new round.
Oh.
So
so I
you're-
just wasted my turn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sorry
okay.
to say. However, that is the end of Gibbs's turn. That brings us to Jade.
I'm gonna try and pet Biscuits with my movement.
Biscuit's dead.
Okay.
I'm trying to pet Muffins, sorry. The other...
You killed Biscuit.
I want to get Muffins on my side.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
Cool.
That brings us to Jade's turn. Jade is going to look down at you, kind of clearing her head, and she's going to say, "We'll talk later, Bubbles." She steps over the remains of this vat, and she's going to step into base attack range. Spice, Bubbs, you guys do get an attack of opportunity if you would like to take it.
Where's she stepping?
Right up to you.
Oh, fuck. She'll step over you guys.
Thank you.
Take it. Oh.
Up to you guys.
Yeah, can I manipulate an item as an attack of opportunity?
What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna try to set her foot on fire with my lighter, but I was gonna do it by smoking a cigarette, and it was gonna be cool, but I don't have time for that right now.
I'm gonna say you probably can't try to set a living tree on fire with the lighter is a task. That takes some time.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of that kid who tried to light on fire and just had the lighter, and you're just sitting there
Yeah.
trying to burn my jeans, bro. That doesn't work
Yeah.
in 2 seconds.
Yep. So unfortunately, probably wouldn't work.
That's fine.
I'll probably take an attack opportunity against her, and I'll be saying, after hearing that reply of what she says to me, later, I'm gonna be like,
Why won't you tell me now? If you don't tell me, I'll beat it out of you.
and I go for a strike.
Okay, make an attack roll.
15
Thank you,
plus, I believe it's 9?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
That is 15 plus 9?
Yeah,
That
so-
is a hit.
Yeah.
Angry Bubbs punch.
That is a 4
Nice.
plus 12, 16.
16. Nice.
Angry Bubbs.
Can I throw a grenade as my attack of opportunity?
I don't think so.
Perfect.
I think
Okay.
it's an attack, right? Counts as an attack.
Throw it.
A ranged attack.
Are you
I
proficient
have.
with grenades?
Well, I am.
Oh shit! I should have given you the grenade.
It's all right. Yeah, both of us
both
are. We had this
proficient with
conversation
grenades.
like
I'm also
almost
proficient with
immediately
grenades.
after.
I'm proficient with everything.
Yeah.
Literally not proficient with shit. I got small arms and that's it.
I've also got versatile.
Yeah, why not?
something.
It's an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Make a ranged attack.
Want her to catch on fire.
Blow her up.
Okay, 22 to hit.
What is the... Okay, that definitely hits. What is the range when that explodes?
30 feet. Nope. 20 feet.
Good. Okay,
20
so...
foot radius.
20-foot radius,
Holy
yeah.
fuck! You're gonna catch all of us plus muffins.
Sorry,
is it? What kind of
man.
grenade is
This
this?
is kind of impulsive. It's just frag grenade 1.
Oh.
It's nothing
So
special. I've
that
had
is
it since
going
the
to hit
beginning.
literally everybody in this room.
Oops, sorry, everybody. It was an impulse decision.
Shades
So
just
go ahead,
like
roll damage on that.
Okay,
doing
well.
his own thing, not getting
Muffins,
blown up.
no!
Muffins has 7 health, so it depends.
What kind of weapon is this? Fragmentation?
It's
grenade?
a frag
Frag.
grenade, and here we go. Explode damage.
Oh, it's exploded damage.
It's literally nothing, so don't worry.
Isn't it like a D6?
It's a 2. So you get 2
I thought
points
it'd
of
be
damage.
piercing.
So I take 2 points.
Okay, so
Damage.
it explodes. There is a ricochet of shrapnel. You hear the bear. But aside from that, not a whole lot of reaction from this huge tree.
Well, shit.
That is
Does
your
it
attack
go
of
against
opportunity.
everyone else's ACs as well, or does it go off of the
It just
22? I mean, I'm sure everyone else has lower.
within
We
a
can figure it
15-foot
out
radius,
later.
1d6 of explode
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
damage.
she hits it something, then
Yeah.
I think it goes across.
So either way, we can
I'll
look it
take
up
it.
later. That is going to be the attacks of opportunity as Jade crosses over. She's going to make some attacks against you. 2 of them.
Against Gibbsies?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Gibbs, you can see stamps over. You hear Bubbs kind of like yell as she walks past. She looks at Bubbs as she does, but just kind of pulls her head away, shaking it. And looking down at you, she says, "There's nothing I can do with a Yosoki. Sorry."
Yikes.
And she's going to take her first attack. That is going to be 17 against your KAC.
Definitely hits.
Okay, so you are going to be taking... Ooh, you're lucky. 9 points of piercing and acid damage as it begins to sizzle and burn into the wounds that are left. She slashes across the second time.
Alright.
That is higher. That is going to be a 23 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And you are going to take... I can't pick up D4s. 12 points of piercing and acid damage.
Instead of shield, you see her kind of cut through Gibbs, drawing blood for the first time in this fight. Gibbs is taking real damage. It was 12 damage, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Gubs.
Uh,
Gubs! Bubbs, you have to do
Shield's doing
something!
fine, but like there's definitely like some slashes across her, the top of her shoulders as the evil person is evil.
And then, as a quick action, she's going to lash out at anybody in a 20-foot radius with grasping vines. You can see suddenly the root-like structures that form her skin spread out. I need everybody to make a reflex saving throw. I'll make one for Muffins.
Muffins. They're all going to be
Muffins is
named
gonna
after
succeed.
pastries.
Muffins is spry.
Ooh, natural 24, 26.
Nice. Very
18.
nice.
Muffins
Very
is like,
nice.
"Whoosh, whoosh, 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 whoosh."
No, Muffins is spry, so Muffin. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Does like a backflip.
Right.
It's like the bear from Tekken.
12.
Okay. With the exception of Bubbs, everybody manages to dodge. This grenade goes off. Bubbs strikes the tree, and you can see she gets frustrated, and in this moment she just goes, "Everybody stop!" These vines spread out everywhere, almost seeming to spear. Bubbs, you are going to be taking just 6 points of piercing damage as it kind of hits you, spinning you to the side.
Oh,
Everybody else.
I have resistance against piercing.
There you go, only 3. this bear you can see kind of dodging to the side as well. That is going to be Jade's turn. That brings us to Bubbs.
I'm gonna just start wailing on this person.
Okay, go for it.
Figure.
Not my mom.
Your mom
And in
figure?
this moment, I'm not even thinking about like a way to build up my self-confidence or anything. I'm
Okay.
just thinking, I want to know.
Nice.
You're not my real mom. Oh, that answers that.
Full attack. So that's a 4 plus 5. That's a miss probably for the first attack.
That is a miss.
No, it's a full attack, so it's only
yeah,
plus
gotcha.
5.
Yeah, because the -4. Yeah.
And a 1.
With that one, you swing the first time and you go to swing the second, and in this moment you look up, and in this tree creature, as terrifying and as evil as it appears, you can't help but look at the eyes. The eyes are still exactly the same as Jade's. You see those hazel halos around the pupils, and it makes you almost freeze. You can't quite strike. That is going to be your turn, Bubbs. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to you, Spice. And then the horse.
I'm so glad you guys figured this out.
So she now sees that Bubbs is attacking who she thought was his mom, and she's like, all right, we're in this, and she's going to scream into Jade's mind, you were a terrible mother!
Okay. That is a will save.
Is it a will save? It's just a intimidate, actually.
Oh, okay.
Let me see here. Let's see.
I don't give a shit.
I thought it was interesting.
14.
A 14?
Yep.
For what?
Intimidation.
Okay. So what happens if you succeed?
Shaken.
There you go. You can go ahead and put this physical effect on. As you scream, you are a terrible mother, psychically into her mind. You can see this huge tree kind of like stumbles for a moment, kind of taken aback by the intensity of the scream.
Yes.
They're shaken.
All of a sudden, my shit becomes more feasible because of a -2 penalty.
There you go.
All of a sudden, the thing I was like, oh, I can't be do
That
this.
brings us to this horse creature. You can see this plant fold open, and another creature
That's
emerges.
the horse. Oh.
No.
That's gonna
He's
be
gonna
the
get the
horse.
horse, I see.
If it's large enough or small enough to fit in my hand.
Oh,
Do this.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You can see, as it unfolds, this huge mushroomoid-like creature.
Ew.
You can see there is still horsehair that comes down the arms and the legs and the face. As this mouth opens up, you can see the horse's skull on the inside before it snaps shut. It is going to lumber off the plant. And it is going to attack, because it really doesn't know any better, it's going to attack the bear.
Okay.
So from behind, it swings at Muffin.
muffins!
Muffin is
Muffins,
going
one
to
of us
take a
now.
hit.
Mosaic Team 5 Muffin.
Muffins!
Muffin's got like 4.
Muffin takes 5 points of damage.
6 to start.
Hang on.
Till he dies.
Hang on.
Muffin!
Gonna have to put like a memorial photo of Muffin on the ship.
The bear spins as this creature slashes across it and falls to the ground with exactly 0 hit points. Muffin is dead.
No.
The bear
Anyone got Revivify?
onto the ground.
Leave his body.
Yeah, wait.
that a-
Gift, you have to save it. Resuscitate.
That's what I'm gonna
Technically,
spend
your turn.
technically, this bear is unconscious.
Does it have resolve points?
It
can
doesn't have
stabilize.
resolve.
Oh, fuck.
That being said, that is this creature's turn. That brings us to the bear's turn. The bear no longer present. That brings us to the top of the round.
To the
Matt,
platypus.
you listen, and you don't hear that sound anymore. And you would imagine this worked. You have disabled that
Great.
device.
So I'm guessing that the other server is the same, or like part of the same system.
They both seem like they're probably attached. Yeah, it's like a dual input.
They both went red light when I did.
Yes.
Okay. And this is the genie.
Yes, that's
Okay.
the magic genie.
So there's nothing else in this room. I'm gonna leave
Okay.
and make my way down this way.
Sure.
Is this door open?
Those are frosted glass doors, and as you approach, you have the security badge, correct?
Yes.
they part. You can see into this room a double helix-shaped desk. There's a big, very nice-looking leather chair. You can see there's like a little smaller workstation off to the side with a microscope and another computer. You can see there is a huge snarl of knots and roots, and stretching out from it, you can see partially dissolved a Shurin hand and a black lab coat. The wall has been partially destroyed by what looks like, you can just see the back of it, but a huge plant on the inside of the other room.
This here.
Yes.
Okay.
You can't do the vent there.
So what else is in here? Is this the Helix desk?
Correct.
Is there something on the Helix desk?
You, in a quick glance, maybe.
Okay.
The lights are off here, so you're seeing like, black and white gray tone.
Okay. I think I want to come in here and see if there's something that I can hack into to hopefully like cause some issues for in there.
So your eyes look right. You can see there is a computer station right
I'm
there.
scanning the room.
Sure. Make a perception check then.
Scan the room. Scan the room. Where's my dice? Oh. Scan the room. 19?
19. Looking on the desk, yeah, there's a flash drive. You see a little, what looks like a data stick and what looks like another one of these short range communicators, similar to what the Space Goblin had. Okay. Probably linked. You look over, you can see this workstation, a microscope, and on the screen, it looks like a zoomed in kind of slide. Probably nothing you could hack into here that would affect the factory floor necessarily.
Okay. I'm gonna quick action to manipulate to just pick up the flash drive.
Okay, sure, yeah, you pocket that.
I guess. It's just the one flash drive here.
Correct.
And then this is the like test 2B.
Yeah.
And monitor with the
Little private microscope station.
Okay. Cool. Nothing helpful in here. I guess I already used my move action to get here. So
Can't split it up. So that is your turn. That brings us to you. You're just kind of like taking a tour as everybody else fights outside. That brings us to Gibbs. Gibbs, for the first time, you're beginning to really take damage. What are you doing?
Seeing muffins fall, I look at the creature behind and say, "That's not nice, Strudel," and I name that guy Strudel.
Okay.
But as Jade hits me, it's one of those sensations that, like, when you stare in the abyss stares back.
Sure.
So as she's hitting me, I am also in melee touch with her.
Okay.
And so I'm going to do something. So I'm going to make a melee attack that she'll get a -2 penalty to.
Okay.
Fuck! I rolled a 2, so it definitely doesn't hit.
No.
But you start to see, like, little sludgies from Gibbs's fur kind of come out for the first time and try to, like, wrap around her. It doesn't happen, but, like, that's what I do.
Moving.
I ooze.
You begin to ooze. You can just hear, ew, and she kind of shakes you off a little bit.
But there's, like, a lingering, like, clasp onto her hands, and she's, like, I'm not necessarily defending myself from her, so I'm taking some fucking damage, but, like, it's definitely one of those, like, intimidation plays.
She turns, now it being her turn, and she says, "Was that a spell?" This is a spell. She's going to reach this huge hand out and try to close it over your head.
This is a knife.
Can you go ahead and make a will saving throw,
Yes! Gladly.
Nice.
Oh, fuck. That fell out of my hand even though it was a natural 20.
Unfortunate.
9 plus 12 is...
21.
21.
21. That is a
That's pretty
success.
fucking good. That plus,
Will saves is what I'm good at.
that is
all I got.
amazing.
That was good.
You feel pain burst through your body. You have a -2 penalty to abilities checks, attack rolls, and skill checks for 1 round.
Because I am fatigued. Because I am off targeted.
Because you are having the spell inflict pain cast upon you.
Fine.
This pain racks into your body. There is no status associated with it, but you feel a tremendous amount of pain. That is only 1 round instead of 2 because you succeeded. That is going to be her action.
Do I get an attack opportunity on him because he cast a spell?
Technically, it's a spell-like ability, but you know what? I would say, yeah, given the state of everything, yeah, that makes sense.
Does that mean Spice does as well?
Yes.
But also, to be fair, then I would as well because
Everyone's
I
in
cast
range.
a spell against her.
What I will, and so what I would say is that would also mean that she would get one against you
Correct.
for that.
So you guys can get 2, but I get 1 against me. So
Yes.
just to be fair.
I miss anyways.
I got a natural
I guess
19.
7
Sarah,
plus
9.
plus. Oh yeah,
That's a
plus 9,
natural
16.
20
16.
for against you.
Fuck me,
That
guys!
So what was yours?
16.
16. That is a miss.
Damn. I didn't. I'm
Okay,
I'm
right,
all the
yeah,
way
you're
over
way
here.
far away.
Fucking.
That natural
But
20,
Spice-
unfortunately,
Spice gets 1.
22.
that is a hit.
Nice.
Okay. It's not gonna be much damage.
The
but
spice
it's gonna be
is
a little bit.
nice.
This is
Oh,
gonna be a
you
lot.
got 4 points of damage.
Okay, hey, you know what? Every little bit counts. 4 points of damage.
Yeah, just
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's no way she did as much damage in 1 turn.
You're going to be taking 18 points of piercing and acid. That's a natural 20. That's a critical hit.
18. I'm still standing, but it's just
It
barely.
rakes across you, and even as it does, as you cast this spell, and she says, "Are you trying to cast a spell?" She slashes across your body. You can see these little grubby things emerging from your fur across the lab, just displaced. That is the reaction. You did damage in your reaction. Everybody has reacted. Fantastic.
Oh, wait. I would have gotten 1 too.
You would have.
Fuck. Yes. I pull out my bone knife and I'm gonna stab her
Okay.
Nice.
with the knife. 7 plus
You
nothing.
call that a spell? This is a knife.
It's like 0.
She slashes across you, and in rage, you reach into your cargo vest, pull out this knife, and you just can't reach her. She's too far away.
God damn it,
Her
Jade.
arms are like 12 feet long.
I
so-
wanted your help. I wanted you to solve my problem with Retropy. Ah!
Is Gibbs
I
saying
needed
anything?
you to be everybody's
This
mother.
is hurt, and like 1 more hit, and she is fucking down, and there's nothing I can do about it. No, there's stuff I can do about it, but Gibbs is gonna say that because she came into this being like, I wasn't gonna kill you. I held my action. I wanted your help. Like, fuck you for not helping me with my bullshit.
Almost like
As she
she would've
hears
saved
you
her.
say all of that, she sneers, and the tree creature says, "Rentropy is a joke."
Yes, I know. So help me with the.
That is going to bring us to, I believe,
that was her turn. All of the reaction.
Then my
Bubbs. What would you like to do? You can now see she like turns,
Punch her in the
talks
tree
down
dick.
to Gibbs.
Punch her in her tree dick.
I'm just gonna yell again. Why won't you tell me? I deserve to know. And then I'm just gonna full attack her.
Sure, make your attack rolls. Even before those can collide, she turns,
Gonna miss.
and you can hear her say, "I tried to help you, Bubbles."
The first one is a 14.
Okay, that is a miss.
Yep.
She kind of catches your hand and throws it aside. Like she could have just hurt you badly, turns your hand aside. As you go, you can go ahead and make your second attack roll as well.
Again.
11 plus 5, 16.
16 is a miss. You slam into the hand again. This time the whole tree shifts back, but she throws your hand aside. Do you know what I went through after you escaped? After 5 escaped? She takes another step forward. Anything else, Bubbs?
I don't care about whoever 5 is. I only care about 1 who escaped, and that's Miles.
Make a wisdom saving throw. Or a will saving throw, sorry.
8 plus 2. Wait, plus will saving throw or wisdom?
With will, sorry.
6 plus 8 is 14.
14. There's this flash. For a moment, it's like all of the sound is cut off from your ears, and all you see in front of you, little redheaded girl. You're right back in the present. Anything else, Bubbs?
That's my turn.
There you go. That brings us to Spice. Spice, what would you like to do?
Free action is going to scream out loud, "Who is the 5th child?" And then, and then she's going to turn towards Gibbs, and then yell, "I saw what she did. You're still doing great!" An inspiring boost.
Nice.
Nice.
So I have a -2, but what does that get me?
You get 10 points of stamina points back.
Nice.
Good inspiring boost.
That doubles my pool right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
You feel this
saw you-
surge of inspiration as you hear Spice say that you're still doing good. You like look down at your body, you're bleeding heavily, you're like falling apart.
You look great, babe!
And that fills you with the confidence that you just pop the cargo vest open.
It's not from there, but it's movies.
Bubbs blushes.
That is Spice, your full turn?
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm gonna stay where I am. I have movement, but I'm just gonna stay.
Okay. So
Same
that brings us to
Spice and
Strudel.
Gibbs.
Strudel is gonna crawl over the bear's corpse and get into range with you, Gibbs.
I'm gonna take the bear's corpse away because I was
yeah, that's
only
fair.
there to make it harder.
Muffin,
No, Strudel, fuck you.
That is gonna be a 12 to hit.
My EAC or my KAC?
KAC.
Yes! Plus 13 to my kinetic.
There
But
you
Nice.
go.
EAC is 12, so that's why it was important.
Swings at you, and as you see this creature and the horse mouth like come out, slashes across, you dodge underneath, feeling now your absolute best, inspired by Spice. You're able to dodge. Yes.
1 second, the -2 penalty was to AC as well, though. Sorry.
Ability checks, attack rolls, and skill checks.
Yes! So
you're
that's
all
not
set.
AC.
Nice.
Fuck yes!
So Strudel misses the attack.
Fuck
You
you,
just can just
Strudel!
hear, which is almost like a fuck you back.
Yeah.
But that is Strudel's turn. That brings us to the top of the round. No animals come into play. Shade, what would you like to do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 50 feet, right?
From where?
Yeah.
Yeah, from there.
If it's
If it's from the wall, it
10,
should be
50
50 or 55.
Yeah, so I'm
feet, depending on
gonna
what
I'm
you're
gonna
55.
run out to here,
looking at. Okay.
and I guess since I still have my net gun, I guess I can try to.
What's the range on the net gun?
No, it's I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use my move action
Okay.
to fucking switch out to my laser
There you
pistol,
go. Okay. You
And
stow
then-
the net gun. You bring out the laser pistol.
and then I guess I can take a shot, but it's slightly out of range, so it takes the minuses, right?
It's gonna take it's gonna take minuses. I think -2 for being slightly out of range. It's gonna take an additional -2 because you're shooting through a glass door.
Well, isn't the door open because I have the security badge?
You're standing like it's pretty close. Yeah, sure. Why not? -2.
Nice.
Nice. Arguing
the
with
haggling.
DM.
The DM
also-
haggling.
Problem.
I didn't think about exact radius for the security badges as like so that's
Yeah.
that's fine.
Ooh, that's 28 -2.
Yeah, that hits.
28?
That is
Holy
against
jeez.
which? That's against Jade or
Against Jade.
okay, yeah. Make your damage roll.
What is your range
Oh, I
bonus?
gotta do my turn.
Plus
I'm
10.
next.
For your attack roll?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, mine is not like that.
7 points of fire damage.
Mine's
So, as this laser streaks across and strikes the bark, it begins to crackle and burn. You can see Jade turn and just go, begins to kind of like try to scrape it away, but the fire catches onto the hand. It does more damage than you would imagine it originally did. How much? It was 7?
7 fire
That's
damage.
14 points of fire damage.
Ooh, fire is devoed.
That brings us to Gibbs.
You guys have seen it kind of before as she's sprayed her champagne spray of gunk, but she sort of, you can see all the sort of grime around her as like, the dog shaken fur, the kind of the mud splattered on the floor. It all starts to like creep inwards, and she's gonna heal herself as her move action.
Sure.
6 plus 6 is 12, plus 2 is 14. So she
Awesome.
gets 14 back.
All of these little gross things that scattered away from your fur when you took that last hit from Jade suddenly begin to like inch their way like little leeches or maggots across the floor and back onto you.
And feeling more heartened from her angry explosion, she's gonna do what she does best and kind of look Jade, who's telling her that her biggest problem is a joke. And that kind of cuts. It hurts a little. She is going to hock a loogie straight into her eye and cast Harrying Fire and say, Bubbs, you've got this! To try and like imbue the next person who's gonna hopefully attack Jade with it. So you get a +2 circumstance bonus to your next attack roll. As for a few rounds, my Lugie's gonna harry that Jade.
All right.
It flies towards the creature. You see into the bark, and then it seems to almost seep in. Jade turns and goes, "That's absolutely fucking disgusting." And she stops, hand on fire, body burning a little bit, and begins to carefully like pick underneath these bark parts. That's gross. She cannot seem to get it. It moves around through the bark, over the trees, into the leaves.
And it doesn't require any roll. It doesn't require anything. It just fucking
that's great.
happens.
Nice.
All right, Gibbs. Anything else?
That's my movement, my action, and I'm gonna say, Bad Strudel, stop it! I'm here, we're friends, we could be friends forever!
Bad Strudel.
Bad Strudel! And I'm just kind of, if I'm there and I'm taking damage, I'm protecting my friend, so I'm gonna stay there and take the damage and potentially die my next round.
Don't
But
die.
It is Jade's turn.
my job.
Jade is going to stop. She's still trying to pick this stuff off, but she looks down at you, Bubbs, and she says, "Help me, and I'll bring you to Miles." Pulls this little gooey bit away. It just kind of crawls on her arm. She turns, looks at you, Gibbs. Enough. She's going to slash at you twice.
Yep.
No.
It's okay. I healed her.
First one is going to be high. 29.
Hits.
Second one is going to be less. 15.
Hits.
All right. First one will be. Ooh. That is 12 points of piercing and acid damage. The second. Whoop. That's no Jumanji's.
Do we have other ways to save dying?
Well,
12 more points of piercing
resolve
and acid
points
damage.
to stabilize.
To stabilize, but to...
I'm to the same that I was the round prior, so I'm fine.
Slashes again and again into you, and this time you're almost withering under this assault. But that is Jade's turn. Bubbs, you can see now after making that offer to you, she turns, strikes Gibbs twice. Gibbs is looking pretty hurt, but still ringing in your ears. I'll bring you to Miles.
In Bub's mind, he flashes pictures of like his previous family. He pictures his adoption life in the home. He pictures living with Steel, and then it kind of morphs into the future, and like his family, like in his like mind flashes, are like the crew, and like each person he's like encountered, and then he just kind of snaps back, and he just yells, "Don't touch my friend! I'll find him myself!" And I'll just straight attack.
There you go. Make your attack rolls.
Beat the shit out of her. Maybe not.
That is 5 plus 9 plus 2, so that is 14, 16.
That
always
is
a
going to be a
16.
miss, unfortunately.
Always a 16.
Second attack.
Give me another d20 then besides this one.
Here,
Take that one. This one's always good for
This
you.
one's good, yeah.
7. Except for that one. That's not good for you.
Which is a total of...
12 plus 2, 14.
Oh, yeah, so less, yeah. No, unfortunately, you swing again and again, but as you do every time, you can see your crew, your current family around you, but there is a part of your brain that can't help but just think, what if? That is your turn?
Yep.
That brings us to Spice. Spice, what do you want to do?
She looks at Gibbs again. And she's like, "Babe, stand up. You got this. I see you." It gives you whatever it was. 10 hit points.
Perfect.
But yeah.
You
At
can
least a
hear
little
it.
better.
Firing, boosting.
Anything else, Spice?
She's No, that's it.
Spice, from where you are, the only thing keeping Gibbs up is your encouragement. Yeah, you're holding this fight together right now. But that brings us down to Strudel. Strudel is going to turn and take a slashing attack against you, Gibbs. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
It's
That is 3 points of slashing damage. Slashes across the back of your leg. Strudel still, you kind of like scamper underneath. You're managing to dodge a lot of the damage, but Strudel's still coming for you. That brings us to the top of the round. Shade, what do you want to do? From far away, you can see Gibbs is in a rough place.
I'm getting close enough to fire again.
Great. Make your attack roll.
22.
22 hits.
4 fire damage.
So, again, doing more than you expect it to. That is 8 points of fire damage. For the first time, you can now see as that fire bursts across the wood, she's beginning to look kind of hurt. You can see now every step that she takes a little bit shaky. But anything else, Shade?
I believe that is it.
Fantastic. Gibbs, your vision swims as the pain penetrates through your thoughts, your conscious, your subconscious, but you are still standing.
you see the wounds try their best to kind of knit themselves together after all of the effects, and I'm going to heal again, continuing to use resolve points to do so. That's
Sure.
6 plus 7 is... Help me out. 6 plus 7 is
13.
13 plus 5 is 18.
Yeah.
Right. So I get 18 hit points back. And that's my move action to kind of knit myself back together. I can't do shit about Strudel. So I will... Understanding my role here to help Bubbs resolve his problem is to continue to stand to take the damage. You'll see as sort of my eyes burn with some of the damage that I've taken, and just trying to stand here long enough for Bubbs to do whatever he needs to do to resolve both the emotional trauma that he's going through and the physical trauma. I'm gonna let my tears cast kind of a shield around myself, casting the same Wisp ally that I've cast in the past, but for the first time on myself, giving myself a +2 bonus to my AC against the next attack.
Nice.
Will be
It just
Jade.
seems to thicken the gunk around you.
And just sort of continue to like look as intimidating as I can against Jade on my own brigade for Rentropy and all the bullshit that's going on there, and just sort of like understanding my agenda at this point is not important, but just be like, no, Rentropy is so important, like, I was here for your help. But at the same time, kind of like making contact, trying to get Bubbs to fucking get rid of his bullshit.
Okay.
So I will protect myself and stand there and do what I need to do to keep taking damage.
On her turn, you can see Jade look around at the situation. You can see even behind the wood the mind work, and she is a very smart scientist. She turns and her eyes settle on you, Spice.
Ah, fuck.
She is going to, actually from where she is, you're within 15 feet of her, right?
Yeah.
She's going to reach out as she swings her arms over, attacking once you and once Bubbs.
Okay.
She is going to say, "You are making this take longer than it needs to." That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yeah, dude.
And Bubbs, that is going to be a
Doesn't even matter if
17
it's
to hit.
EAC or KAC.
KAC or AAC?
KAC.
I have 19, so that doesn't hit.
All right. So strikes against you, and you feel the full force because of this, unable to hit Bubbs. However, you are going to be taking, that's cocked, 13 points of piercing and acid damage as she slashes across, unable to hit you, Bubbs, but turning, you can feel the full focus beginning to settle on you. That is Jade's turn. That brings us to you, Bubbs.
Why won't you tell me?
And I'm just gonna full attack. It's a 2.
Oh my god, bro, this is the third time in a row.
Yeah, use this one. Try this one again. Yeah, you used it once.
Roll it on the table.
Roll out the jujus. There you go.
13. So that's 18 plus. Is your thing still going on?
Yes, for 4
that's a
rounds. So this
20.
is round 2.
Fantastic. You needed that. Yes, that is a hit.
20.
Sorry, let me keep track. Round 2.
Yes.
6 plus
18, right?
12. Yeah, 18.
What kind of damage is that?
Please
It's
be
the
fire.
red star, so it's the fire.
Yeah!
Oh, 36 points
Holy.
of fucking fire damage. He's gonna kill his mom.
This
As
is that
you
trauma
say,
shit that's really gonna cut deep.
Why won't you tell me? You squeeze your hand and your fist ignites with this piercing spike of plasma. As you punch, fire leaps from your hand and ripples up the leg, almost consuming half of the body. Up the side of the face begins to burn, the leaves burn away. You can see now suddenly Jade looks surprised. That is a tremendous amount of damage. You can see now going from this look of anger and like furiosity at you for keeping this battle going. For a moment you could tell she thought she figured out the key to ending this, and then all of a sudden everything changed. She is on fire, she is badly hurt, she turns. Anything else, Bubbs?
That's it.
All right. Spice. You look up, you can see elements of the wood beginning to fall away and crackle and burn. What are you doing?
I'm going to trick attack.
Okay.
Base starting at a 17 for a bluff check.
Oh, damn.
Plus 9.
26?
26.
Yeah, that succeeds.
Okay, well, that's not even the rest of the dice, so
Yeah.
we still got another dice roll.
wow.
So I'm gonna try to hit her with my laser azimuth pistol.
Okay.
Um,
That deals fire damage as well, correct?
yes, it does.
There you go.
I did it on purpose with this laser. Oh, not great. 8 to hit.
An 8 to hit?
Yep.
Unfortunately, that is a miss.
Flat-footed though, because
There
of the
you
trick
go.
attack.
You can see on fire, and as you kind of like move to the side, you aim. She looks over and seeing the laser already being on fire from several strikes from them, she kind of cowers and your shot goes wide. And she is flat-footed, kind of bending down. That is your turn, Spice. That brings us to Strudel. Strudel is going to take an attack against you, Gibbs.
Strudel, no.
Gibbs, that is going to be a 27.
Strudel.
Yeah, don't put the calm down, Strudel. No one cares about you.
You're taking 5 points of slashing
9
damage.
Strudel.
As Strudel slashes across with these
Only response to German accents.
organic claws. That brings us to the top of the round, Shade.
I'm shooting her. Yeah, that's a fucking 19 on the die, so it's like a 29 or something.
29 hits. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Shoot her in the face again. That's another 4 fire damage, so 8 fire damage.
Points of fire damage. You can see this shot hits right above the knee, and from where you are, Spice, engaged in kind of fighting, you see the knee buckle, almost all of the wood bursting in this big, like, you know when a fire log cracks? You hear that same sound, and the leg almost splinters in half. You can see she begins to sag down to one knee. She is badly hurt.
Can I full action attack again?
You sure can. Never done anything else?
That's 21, but it's minus for full action.
Minus
But
4,
they're
isn't it?
flat-footed,
Oh, okay.
which is minus 2 to AC.
So it's minus 4 to full attack.
Yeah, she's flat-footed.
Minus 4 to full attack, so the attack is math 17.
A 17 would normally be 1 below their AC. However,
However,
with the
the
flat-footed,
flat-footed
that is
trick
going to
attack.
make it 1 higher. Go ahead and roll damage. That is just enough,
And that's another 4 points of fire damage.
which doubles to 8. As this begins to burn and crackle at the bark, go ahead, Matt. Tell us how it happens.
So, like, she's kind of like flailing around, trying to put out the fire. Everyone's like all around. She's gotten flat-footed, so she's like knocked over, and then I just like shoot one shot through the forehead, and it just like burns a hole through, and then she's done.
Bubbs, from where you are, you can see suddenly from behind this laser pierce through the forehead. And as this hole goes through, you can actually see all the way across the room the bright gleam of Shade's armor at the other end of this shot. But you see the fire then begin to go around like a crown.
As I notice this and realize like the last information that I could possibly ever get my hands on to find out where my brother is, I just internally scream, "No!"
And as she crumbles to the ground, begins to fall apart and dies, she does say, Bubbles, I could have brought you to him.
Does she revert back to her elf form, or is she still
She falls, full tree form.
full tree form?
Dead on the ground. Damn. That is your turn, Shade. Gibbs, what would you like to do?
I use my movement to move the Wisp ally
Yeah.
from Jade to Strudels. Assessing if Strudels can be saved. Can Strudels be saved? Do I think Strudels is worth saving?
Bring the horse
Turn
back.
and look,
Pet horse.
The mouth, the horse skull, like, yawns out almost
Ew,
like a goblin
gross.
shark. Probably not.
Okay. Then I sort of like resignedly tip over the end of my jar. It's now empty, and it needs to make a will save as I spray it onto Strudels at the first level.
That is a 3.
Oh, great. Fantastic. I do 2d10 mind damage. 9 plus 10 is 19 damage to Strudels.
Nice.
It just bursts. That is a tremendous amount of damage for what remained for Strudel.
Strudels, we could have been friends.
You see the horse skull just kind of like
True MVP was
shut,
Muffins, though.
and it falls dead. And because everything is dead in this room, aside from most of you, I'm going to bring you out of combat. Mosaic Team 5, you survived.
Did the tree revert back to the
No.
form, or
You see the face, the bark around the face soften slightly, and as the fire licks across, it kind of consumes the last bits of Jade's body. But you can almost swear you see just the hints of a smile as she dies.
So in like all the heat of the moment, she's like, Gibbs, cast Speak Undead or whatever the fuck.
Can I stabilize her? Is she taking damage and not dying? Can I save her and make her alive?
You could try.
Yeah, I have
She's on
great
fire.
medicine. Then I put out the fire.
You have
and
a
then
fire
I wanna...
extinguisher, don't you?
Oh yeah, I have a fire extinguisher. I pull it from my cheek pouches and I'm gonna spray it on her.
Amazing. So for the first time ever, you empty your cheek pouches, a couple pucks of jerky and a fire extinguisher come out. You pull the pin, point, and spray. You empty this thing all the way across. A huge gout of fog goes across. And as it settles, Bubbs, you can just see the dead tree form, smoke settling across. But yeah, fire out. What do you want to do?
Stabilize medicine, I guess.
Run over, make a medicine check. Don't be Shade.
I'm gonna, while this is happening, make my way back.
Oh!
What was it?
Natural one! But I
my
get
God.
a plus 11 to medicine, but it's a
Punch her in the
natural
heart.
one.
Oh,
You
Retro
rest
Pete, how
settles.
dare you not help me?
Bubbs, you down as close as you are, you kind of see Gibbs get really close. They kind of cradle Jade's head. You can see like crumbling, but still just the basic remains of a face. And Gibbs, you look down, you're like, I can save her. You kind of pull up, and as you do, the head comes off. And you would imagine, as the sap out into a pool, probably beyond saving.
It was. She's a plant. It was a little. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just stand up. You can see tears crying from my eyes.
Oh,
Bobby.
and I'm gonna
We were
walk
never
over.
gonna save her.
Well done, everyone. We've
it wasn't
completed
my
our
intention.
mission.
I hope you know that. I'm sorry.
It wouldn't have mattered. She was dead anyways.
Gibbs, do you need medical assistance?
I'm actually okay. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm okay actually.
Thank you to the Envoy class.
And for this moment, because it is 9:45, this is what we're end for the evening. So
Nice job, Joe.
all of you guys did manage to vanquish.
I love that.
Oh yeah, great work, guys! All of you guys managed to vanquish Jade and the Jade Brigade. You would imagine the next time that you complete a long rest, you'll be leveling up again.
Nice.
I can finally do stuff.
I can punch harder.
Yes.
I still can't do anything because
I
I
can-
multi-class like an idiot.
I'm getting wireless
It
hack
holds you
now.
back for a little bit, but then it feels way
does.
better down the line.
I can do
I'm
the
glad I have-
hacky things from afar. I don't have to jump.
Oh, you
over
finally
to
get
them.
it?
Yeah, I finally get it.
So-
Level 5.
As a reminder, we're playing D&D tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Ari, you are going to be signing us out for the week, so go ahead and take it away.
Hey guys, I hope you all got the spam mail to your cell phones reminding you that junk files will always be junk. And if you didn't, try to get off the do not call list, I guess. Thanks, Joe, for always being a wonderful DM.
Amazing.
Thanks, Matt, for the lovely cake you gave us. And, you know, you guys are great. And we're so excited to have someone new join us next week. So thank you so much. And bye-bye, Space Buckaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.